This episode brought to you by Gideon's Umbrella Hats, because it can't rain all the time, and even if it does rain all the time, your hat is an umbrella, so you're okay.
Hey everybody, we're watching The Crow, and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
Yeah.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
And I'm Todd. Tebow. Just Tebow Murray.
And we have got a fantastic one for you. The mid-90s, that's when we were learning how to be men, and we had to learn from
Did we
Bruce
learn
Lee.
anything?
Not much.
No,
but
not a lot.
All I kept learning was, maybe I should dress like that, and just I'm glad that I couldn't afford to dress like that because I would have probably been crucified in school.
I learned that how to put on a lot of eye makeup on and then cried off in the tub.
Really learned how to get like a sick crush on a goth girl.
Yeah,
So
and then be
that-
crushed under the weight of her mascara purchases.
No, my goth girl was petite.
Oh, yeah, she was just hot, too.
She was.
All the goth girls out there are hot. I like that kind of morose hot attitude, you know?
Girls
I still
are
like the goth girls out there. In Toronto, you'll see them.
Yeah. Are there goth girls our age, or are you hitting on 14?
No, there's... yeah, ooh. See, when they got like 4 pounds of eye makeup on, like they could be any age.
Yeah.
I mean, really, come on. Officer, what the fuck?
Well,
I mean, Joe. Whoa, jeez. Woo, man.
Now the next question. Wayne Newton, jet black hair, lots of makeup on his face. Is he a goth girl? Does he count? Is he goth?
I think he does.
Duncan
Once you
Shane.
reach
Duncan Shane's
a
a goth
certain
song.
amount of eye makeup, you just roll right into, even if it's clown.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to my show. I hope you are ready to enter Satan's darkness for 5 hours. Duncan Shane.
I'm Azrael Abyss. Your goth talk. Was that goth talk?
Goth talk.
I was going to make a goth talk joke. Hey, you're watching goth talk, but there is a goth
I'm
talk.
Cersei Nightshade. And I'm Azrael Abyss. I
love
missed
that
sketch.
skit.
I totally
That
forgot about
skit was
that.
totally
I
killer,
totally
eh?
forgot about that. That's awesome.
He's doing the seance, and the guys are in the background playing frisbee. Like they're like,
Like Jim Brewer fucking with him and stuff. Oh my god. Well, I know what I'm going to be digging for tonight. That's awesome.
we weren't goths, eh? I still dress in all black and listen to a lot of metal, but I never considered myself a goth. Although we were skids. Remember, we were listening to Korn, and everybody was like, "You're a skid." Until the third Korn CD came out, and then everybody loved them.
exactly.
And then now suddenly I'm not a skid anymore. I just have skids.
Skid marks.
No, come on.
Oh.
Young goth girls in my basement.
Oh yeah, I just have a bunch of skids. Still,
Come on.
still all
Some
there.
old pallets.
And
They used to have onions on them.
and they still think that their fashion is like. is in
Oh,
there.
yes. I tell them all the time.
Yeah. So they're going to come out and they're going to go, "Am I on fleek?" Because they just heard that and they're like, "Does that mean something?" And like,
No, I won't let you go. Yes, you still look hot and fashionable.
yeah.
Come on, what more do you want from me?
No, I'm out of black eyeliner. Put this charcoal on your face.
Oh my God,
and deal
that's
with
it, eh?
Yeah.
They work. That's it. You work on the mind, you get free black makeup.
Nice.
Now that's a plus, bro. Maybe you can put a diamond up your butt too, and you won't even find it.
And some of them he thinks are goth. They're just super racist and they're just wearing blackface.
That's hot.
So it is very hot.
You don't care what anyone thinks, do you?
Women in blackface are the best. They got beautiful names like Willie and Sambo.
That's right. Good old Sambo. That Sambo's a sexy one, let me tell
I
you.
have no idea what I'm talking about.
Samba. He likes to samba with Sambo.
Samba.
Sambo with Sambo.
Wow, we're really stalling this one out, aren't we?
Yeah. Keep it coming. Keep it
Let's do
coming
it.
now, right? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
What were
Let's
you
talk some
gonna
more
say?
nonsense there.
What were you gonna
I
say?
was going to talk about like how cool The Crow was back in the day. That movie
Yeah.
was the kind of movie where you walked out of it feeling like, man, I want to be the Crow.
Absolutely.
Like I just want to rock out like Eric Draven on the roof with my guitar.
There are certain movies, that movie, The Matrix and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it made you walk different.
Yeah, when you came out, that's a ruiner of a day too. Like you can't go to a matinee of The Crow and then have like the rest of your day planned. You know what I mean? Because then you're like, oh, everything sucks. Like, this ain't The Crow.
Now that I've done this, I have to go pick up bread before I go.
Yeah, exactly. Everything seems mundane and shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's what you should be doing is fighting people next to a fire, and what you actually are doing is like eating like KFC. It's just like,
That's always what happens when you eat KFC.
yeah, no doubt.
You know, dead guys start attacking. All the guys are so cool in this movie too. Everybody was cool. The bad guys were cool. Like,
Yeah.
cool concept. Like, he comes back from the dead. He rocks.
Well, because you have like the two levels too. You have like the low level
yeah.
gangster guys,
Yeah.
and then you've got like the high level, which are like your Michael Wincott and all. We'll get into them. When we
This is
get
a
to the
classic
movie.
revenge
We should talk
tale,
about the
eh?
movie while the movie's on. What do you
Yeah,
think?
maybe.
All right, let's do this thing and
do
let
this thing.
us press play.
Pressing play now. Dimension still going?
No.
They were the only game in town for these kind of, because they were Scream.
Yeah.
They did all the horror movies before like Lionsgate came out and started all
Well-
Brandon Lee.
Well, what was interesting about this actually is that this was a Paramount movie when it first was being made, and then the death of Brandon
Look at
Lee
that.
made it so
Pretty
they
close
they
to my
basically
birthday.
they basically wrote off the entire movie, and then
Really?
and then a company was founded. And they did all the digital reworkings and stuff like that. And then that's
So strictly because of his death and the bad publicity, they just got rid of it.
it wasn't the bad publicity. They just figured it wasn't finishable. Because
Wasn't
there,
even that much to do, was there?
well, they did what they needed to do. Like there were some pretty key scenes and stuff like that. So yeah,
I can point them out too. I think I know which ones they are.
Yeah,
And not because they're bad. They look fine. I just know from
Yeah.
seeing it back in the day because I was
Yeah.
obsessed with it.
Yeah, and I
what-
do have them all listed here though.
Okay, what about the validity of? I'm sure you're going to get into it at some point in time.
Yeah.
Probably jumping the gun. The curse, the Lee curse. Do you
Yes.
think that's a real thing happening out there? Do you think he was murdered on purpose? Was it really an accident?
No, I think Bruce Lee died of. A lot of people actually believe Bruce Lee just flat out died of being too fit. Like he had
that a
such
thing?
little body fat and stuff like that, and they're like he got a headache, and then like he had some like medication, and then they said that caused his body to go friggin' bananas because he was so
Really?
pure. That's a theory. That's not like something that's based in any full fact, but it's like I kind of buy into it.
I'm like
because,
exactly the opposite. I ate an orange the other day and I went into cardiac arrest.
I know.
My body was like, "This isn't a cookie dipped
The
in peanut
citric-
butter.
Yeah, I know.
The fuck is this?"
The citric acid is killing me.
Oh my god, yes.
But
Ugh. I really like those citrusy drinks, but Jesus Christ, man. Whoa.
yeah. So this is an Alex Proyas movie who's born in Egypt, and
Oh.
and his most recent movie, or one of his most recent movies, was Gods of Egypt. Who? Yeah. So he's which was a great movie.
Doing his country proud, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they were happy. He actually did a bunch of short movies and music videos prior to doing this movie, and then he directed Dark City, iRobot, Knowing, and Gods of
Dark
Egypt.
City, that's the other one he did.
Yes.
That's a cool movie.
Yeah, but he has that kind of. I think he really had that kind of like postmodern, semi-apocalyptic thing going
He
down.
liked
Like,
well, you know what? He's like Zack Snyder before Zack Snyder came out.
yes.
Like the dark palettes, all of everything's kind of. You know what this movie reminds me of in Dark City?
Yeah.
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Because everything, it was actually on black paper. This whole movie is just like black.
Yeah. They never say in the movie.
Is this the past?
Yeah. Well, there is no
Or does he
real
come alive
past.
the next day?
Yeah, he comes alive pretty well. He's been buried, so it can't be the next day. It has to have been like think
Soonish
about,
to their death.
yeah. Think about how long it takes. Maybe about a week.
Okay.
So
So this is, well, they didn't just find her now, right?
yeah, they literally just found her. Like so, like this is happening. He's not coming back yet. He's dead upstairs.
Okay.
So that's,
I haven't seen this in a while, actually.
No, it has been a long time.
I thought this was a flashback or some shit. Sorry, what were you going to say there?
I don't know.
Fuck it.
Doesn't matter. So we're looking at Ernie Hudson right now, obviously from Ghostbusters, St. Elsewhere, Hand That Rocks the Cradle,
He was great.
Basketball Diaries, Oz, which he was amazing in.
Oh, Oz, what a
as the
show.
warden. That's
Saw
actually
a lot of penises on Oz.
yeah, for sure.
That was one of the shows that helped me out with my heterosexuality, I think.
Yeah, well, it made
You know
you,
what I mean?
feel
It was
more.
like,
yeah,
no, like I saw a lot of penises and it didn't bother me. I was just like, it's just some guy's dick.
yeah. You're not being. You're
I'm
not
not like all
doing that,
weird
like,
about
no
it. I don't
homo.
feel all weird.
Yeah.
And like, I was just, there's a guy's dick.
Yeah.
There's two gay. That was one of the first shows too where they had a gay male on male kissing. Like
Yes.
the two guys were in love, and I was like, oh, you don't see that very often,
Legitimately,
right? On TV, yeah.
The first thing I saw was from the first episode of the second
Chris Maloney
season.
making out with the other guy?
No, it was they were all bundled up in a bunch of cells, and there were like double the amount of people per cell, and the guy's like sitting there, he's like, blow me, and he ends up biting. Oh, it was a year later, and he ends up biting the tip of the guy's dick off. That was literally the first thing I saw, and I'm like, okay, you have my attention. Like,
I'm here now.
yeah, and so I ended up watching that entire season, and then I went back when the first season like re-aired on it.
You can't find that. Well, I'm surprised you can't find Oz on Netflix or some shit like
Oz
that.
is it's
I know it's
streaming.
HBO, but
I think it's on HBO Go in the States, and it's on Crave.
Is this Courtney Love?
No,
Here
it's
on the
not.
Graveyard?
It should have been. Actually, I was convinced that this was actually somebody of note.
Her.
Yeah, her name is Rochelle. I've got her name down somewhere. Rochelle Davis. This was her first movie, and she didn't do another movie until 2009.
Wow.
And it was the Al Snow movie Hell House.
Oh my God. Al Snow, the wrestler?
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
And then she was in like
good time to come out of retirement.
And then she was in like one other thing.
When Al Snow,
Yeah.
the wrestler that nobody has ever heard of before, calls you to make a movie, you fucking get off your ass and you make that movie.
Yeah, and there's a movie she has in production right now that is just kind of like whatever.
Is it Hell House Part 2?
No, but it's like like there's nobody in it and stuff like that. They never actually say in this, but it's apparently Detroit because of A Devil's Night, and then
The
dude
Lake
says
Erie writes the lights on fire.
Yeah, and dude says Motor City.
Motor City.
And stuff like that,
Madmen.
so-
Where did they film this for real? I always remember this hot dog. It looks like a good steamed dog.
Yeah, a lot of this was filmed in North Carolina.
Ah,
So
really?
Actually, that's interesting because it's going to tie into one of our other movies that I'll mention when we get to it. So, oh my God, who's that guy? I recognize him.
I know, I
didn't
recognize
see
him
it.
too. Good old Ernie Hudson. Ernie
Yeah.
Hudson's really got he's got quite the nice career. I'd like to, have a career like Ernie Hudson where it's kind of under the radar. You get some good roles here, but you keep going. You keep getting work.
Yeah, oh, constantly. Like he's on Grace and Frankie right now.
Oh, he
He's
is?
he was in Desperate Housewives.
Oh.
He's always
Who's he in
around.
Grace and Frankie?
I can't remember the character's name. I don't watch the show.
He plays Jane Fonda's dildo.
Probably. He just vibrates.
They zoom in on him a lot, right?
For sure. What was crazy though, he actually auditioned to play Winston in the Real Ghostbusters animated show and lost out on the role.
Oh my God, he's the guy.
He is the guy, and he lost the role to Arsenio Hall, who played him in the.
He did?
cartoon.
Arsenio Hall was.
Yes.
No shit.
Yeah. So apparently he was. I guess he was probably because he was a more dynamic voice actor or something like that. This is a great
That
introduction to
dude
this
was
bang.
in. I think he's the guy. Warriors,
He is. I was.
come out and play.
It really bums me out because I didn't know that until I had it all put together, and I'm like, this is gonna blow Todd's mind when I tell him. But yeah, he actually is the one he's the guy who actually says, "Warriors, come out and play."
He's good. He
in the
plays a really
Warrior-
good bad guy because he's creeped out. His voice is all fucked.
His name's David Patrick Kelly. But what was great about that Warriors thing? Improvised.
Oh, it was.
He was just told to do something creepy as he came up, and he was doing that
you
with
know
the
what?
bottles.
This guy has he's one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's victims. He's in Commando.
That is true. I've got his whole thing here. He was in 48 Hours, Commando, Twin Peaks, both the new and old versions and
Cool.
the movie. He was in Malcolm X. He was in Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis.
Oh,
and
nice.
Christopher Walken and all that. Well, he really hasn't deteriorated.
I
at
know,
all
he's
for
looking
a
pretty
guy
good
who's
for
been
1
buried
year,
for-
right?
Well, they pack you full of stuff, right?
Yeah, probably.
He was the old guy, like the old janitor guy in The Longest Yard. He was in Flags of Our Fathers. He's in both John Wick movies. So I mean, he's
That's
got
right.
he's got a hell of a
It's a
career.
badass car here too.
Oh yeah,
This movie has a lot of the bad guys in it too.
yeah.
Which helps.
This movie, actually, we were just talking before this. There's a movie that was called The Wraith that came out in the 80s that starred Charlie Sheen. And it was basically this movie where he gets murdered and he comes back. And it was like he had like an awesome car.
Right
that he
here.
drove around. He was kind of Ghost Rider.
This
Yeah.
is not him. This was filmed after
no.
his death.
Actually,
Or no.
no, this I think was...
One of them is he's shivering or something when he comes. really soon.
It's when he goes inside.
Yeah.
Because they shot that stuff and then he comes in and he's all wet. So they make it like dripping. Like it was like a thing they had to put together. But yeah, so we'll talk about it right off the bat.
Right.
Obviously he died while making this.
What a shame.
But I read finally the whole story. I knew he was like shot and it was some kind of freak accident. Basically what happened was they switched guns at the last minute when the prop master wasn't there, and so the prop master hadn't looked at the gun, and it actually had a bullet in the barrel, not in the chamber, but in the barrel, and they loaded it with blanks, and then when they fired it, the blank fired the bullet, and it went into his stomach and into his lower spine, and he had 5 hours of surgery. But what was bad was he was shot by one of the actors. The guy who plays Fun Boy in this actually is the one who shot him. So he actually like stopped acting for a year.
That would fuck me up too, man.
He said, they interviewed him in like 2014 or something, and he says he still has nightmares about it.
Oh my God, I would too. Right here, right there.
But since then he died in 2016.
Oh, what a sad story, man.
Right? Like just a life ruined over a freak accident.
I gave me goosebumps actually. What a story! Like, oh, that's terrible.
Those things
Poor
are
bugger.
heartbreaking. But
I think he was going to be a big star, Brandon Lee.
This was going to fire him off. Did you know he was offered the role to play Bruce Lee in Dragon, a Bruce Lee story?
No way.
I just found that out yesterday while I was doing research for the thing. He turned it down. He was really trying to separate himself from his dad. Which makes
exactly.
sense.
Yes.
He's like, I don't want to live in my dad's shadow. I don't want to be known as Bruce Lee's son. He's like, I love my father. I honor my father. He's like, but we're different people, and I have the right to.
And
be
I
my
kick
own
like
person.
this.
Yeah, but like it was just that kind of thing, and he chose not to play him, and he's like, it's just too personal and it's too weird.
Yeah.
And imagine telling
Did
things.
he have a good relationship
with
with his father or no? His father was making movies.
He supposedly had a good relationship with his dad, but he had to play kind of surrogate father to his sister because again his dad wasn't around and stuff like that. So he had to have a lot of the talks with her and stuff like that. But
here's the Michael Myers cam.
Yeah. Apparently in Baby's Day Out,
right there.
this set, that was
fake.
That was fake.
Not fake, but
no, it was the double. But this place was apparently where the guys in Baby's Day Out, where there was their hideout.
Yes.
So
it's that weird middle one. There's a building in Toronto that looks just like, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's the Crow, and that's where the baby is. Yeah.
And then what's funny about that as well is Darla, who's in this later, it was in Baby's Day Out.
Oh, so, she comes with the building.
Yeah,
she's crashing there.
That's great.
You're filming where she's in.
But yeah, like talk about Brandon Lee. Like he did not have the best filmography at this point. He only had 2 movies that were like of any real consequence.
One of them we totally have to watch.
Showdown in Little Tokyo is fantastic.
Big Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yeah. No, just Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Everywhere.
There's no big.
But maybe I always mix it with Big Trouble in Little China. Totally did.
Well, this is why Showdown in Little Tokyo was
brought to you by. That's right. That was pretty cheeky.
But his first ever role was in Kung Fu the movie with David Carradine.
Nice.
Which is funny because David Carradine beat out Bruce Lee for the role of Kwai Chang Caine.
Ah.
So he was like kind of I don't know if that was a little fuck you to his dad. It turns out he was a really troubled kid though. Like he got kicked out of a couple of schools and all that kind of thing, right? And again, I think a lot of it was to do and a lot of that was probably to do with his dad's shadow. Imagine being Bruce Lee's kid. So they actually digitized that fall. They digitized his face there, and that was a stuntman going out.
Oh, I did not know that one was him. Ooh, cuts his hands right open.
Yeah.
Oh,
I never understood that except
cool,
to show this. This
so dark.
Stylistically, this is still one of the coolest movies.
Know,
like this, like
awesome.
puts Blade into perspective so bad. Like Blade's pretty cool. Like the first one, anyways.
Blade 2 is the shit.
Blade 2 is cool. Except I always hate that one scene where like this is Chupa, and he goes like. And he does this weird move with it.
He got right in. He lost his headset.
It's fine.
Remember when we get together and swallow bullets?
Yeah, I just like to fire it up.
Would you shit the bullet out, or would it like?
Fart it out.
Is a bullet like your stomach? Would you pass it,
or
would it explode in your guts?
I'm certain you'd be poisoned before that came out.
Oh my Lord! Look at what you got to do to be cool in this time and age. Yeah. Like, come on.
Hey, at a cast party, I drank like a quarter of a bottle of vinegar. So I mean, like,
this guy won't drink booze. He's against it, but he'll drink half a fucking quart of vinegar.
Yeah. which translates into sharp wine.
And this is still better than eating a Tide Pod.
It's all true. It really is.
Yeah, you know,
cigars and bullets, totally fine.
Oh, look, got to be even cooler. Oh,
that's Tintin there. That's Lawrence Mason. He was in
there.
Yeah, he was in True Romance and Hackers, and he was in AI, Artificial Intelligence, The
Shield.
Shield. The black guy. Prison Break, The Lincoln Lawyer. But they're all in a bunch of stuff. That's Michael Massey. Fun Boy is the one who pulled the trigger. He was in Lost Highway, Amistad, 24, Catwoman, both Amazing Spider-Man movies, playing different roles. So there's Darla.
There's Darla. What is Darla? Ew. Get that cockroach
She's actually
crow.
in a lot of stuff. Her name's Anna Levine. She was in Heaven's Gate, Desperately Seeking Susan, Fatal Attraction, Wall Street.
That's where I know her from, is Desperately Seeking Susan, I think.
You know her from Leonard Part 6. And
Oh my God. I know everybody from Leonard Part 6.
She was in the Tracy Ullman Show. She was a regular in the Tracy Ullman Show.
No
the
shit.
one that launched The Simpsons. Like 88, 89. Yeah. She was also in Unforgiven, which you probably know her from.
That's it, man.
She was
that
also
fucking movie is so good.
She was also in True Romance.
She was the prostitute with the scratches on her face.
There you go.
Yep.
And she was also in Bad Boys.
Nice.
So, like, she's got a hell of a career.
She's got pretty good, yeah.
Time.
Look at how happy they were, Joe. Look at it with his ponytail. He was so happy.
I love him. James O'Barr, who made the comics, he didn't want him being cast because he had seen, like, his previous stuff, and, like, Rapid Fire was, like, pretty
cool
much
action scenes in that one.
Cool action scene, but it was like cusping on the straight to video.
Right.
And he did one called like Laser. It was Laser something, like Laser Ninja or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. And he's like, that was a straight
sounds
to
like
video.
a winner to me. Laser Ninja.
I know, right? But the idea was, he's like, I don't want this to just be something that gets like kind of tossed to the side. But then he actually met with him and he was talking about the character and he was coming up with his own ideas for what he would do for the character. And he's like, this guy has to be the Crow. Like, he's
Here
so
we
good.
go.
Somebody
good
who,
tune starting first song on the soundtrack, The Cure.
Yeah, this is an amazing song. They wrote it specifically for this.
I think a lot of them were.
This one was called.
There's a lot of tunes on the soundtrack, though.
I think this is called Burned, and they only ever performed the song live once. It was requested all the time, and they performed it like 19 years after they wrote it. And then when people record, like have asked for it, it's Todd literally. Like, both of us legitimately have goosebumps. I love
it. You know what's because it also just reminds me of my back in the day, man. Like listening to these tunes and feeling all the Crow. You're feeling it.
I'm gonna be hitting iTunes tonight.
I think I'm gonna be listening to it on YouTube tonight too, man. I'm probably just gonna get it. I should get this
I
soundtrack.
was just gonna say,
fuck it.
There's the difference between you and me. I'm like, I'm about to repurchase this, and Todd's like, I'm gonna find it for free.
I literally do not know how to do that.
That's all good
at all. Like, I will purchase it from iTunes. It better be in the $6.99 or under bin. You know what? My entire life is essentially just buying things back that I owned before.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Well, because what I did is I digitized all my CDs, then got rid of my CDs, and then my hard drive fried, and I lost all my music.
And now all of our digital music that I repurchase, that's going to fry at some point and be gone.
Yeah. Well, I have backups now, so I don't. That's never
Baby's day out.
A little interesting piece of trivia. There are no crows in this movie. Those are all ravens.
Those are ravens. I was thinking the same thing. Very smart animal.
Really smart. And that's why and they also they said they have more impressive beaks and stuff like that. Like they show up better on screen.
Very true. The Knutsons. This guy's in everything. What's this guy's name?
This name's John Polito. He was in he's in literally everything. So I didn't list because I couldn't bother. But just as kind of like an idea, like of a basic thing, he was in The Big Lebowski.
Amazing.
He was in Dream On, one of like HBO's first shows.
Right.
He was in Homicide, Life on the Street, Blank Man, The Hudsucker Proxy, The Rocketeer.
Oh, The Rocketeer. How did he not melt his legs off with that thing?
And he, like, the first couple of roles he had were in things called Gangster something. Like, he just...
Gangster Cop?
He looks like he's just right out of, like, the 40s or something like that. Like, he looks like he could have easily
He's in a lot of Coen Brothers movies.
Yeah, he is. And he he really easily could have been,
He does look the part. He should be a detective in the 50s or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's
I'm
like... a private dick.
He's like, Bob Hoskins stand-in.
Well, I was literally going to say, if he would have played Eddie Valiant, it would have been fine.
Exactly, yep.
Like, he would have been perfect in it.
The Knutsons. I just love him. I love him in, everything about The Big Lebowski is amazing. That's one we should watch.
Yeah.
Did you fucking dude, man.
Legitimately, when Paramount was doing this, they pitched this to James O'Barr as they were going to adapt this into a musical starring Michael Jackson.
Oh my God.
He flat out laughed at them, thinking they were joking, and they're like, "No, we're 100%
This is serious. What are you laughing at, bro?
Yeah, it's like. And
there's a nice CGC. Yeah. He doesn't even do his boots up. He's got the moves. Yeah, when the Raven brings you back pretending it's a crow, you don't have to tie your boots up.
No,
they stay on.
Yeah, but this was like beyond him getting killed. This is one of the most cursed movies ever, and that's saying something when you think of things like Poltergeist, where like literally everybody who worked on it died. The very first day, a guy in a crane got burnt because it hit like an electrical line or something like that. He got burnt inside the thing.
I didn't know there was
a guy put a screwdriver through his own hand. Like there was an accident a day. I
didn't know that actually.
Yeah. It was a
cursed set.
It was a super cursed set, and there were actually
Bruce Lee was dead when this movie was made.
Oh, long dead. He died like
way before, right?
20
dig
years
his makeup too.
Almost. His makeup. He actually does his makeup. He didn't like the way the makeup artist was doing it, so he made a deal with Alex Proyas where he would do it the night before, so it would get kind of cracked and run down a little bit because he was going to be all like outside all the time.
He seems like he had a lot of actor notes. Like if you looked at his script, there probably had a lot of shit written in there, right?
He took this really seriously, and that's why it worked.
Good.
This is the thing. When people put this much, like, think about Heath Ledger and like he was.
I was just going to say he kind of reminds me of like Heath Ledger's Joker with the way that his mouth is and stuff, right?
But just the idea of really putting the thought into what this is.
Yeah.
Now Heath Ledger took it to another level, but I mean, he like, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things. Another thing, and like why I don't believe in curses is the next piece of trivia. Everybody was doing cocaine on this set constantly.
Oh God!
Like all the crew and stuff. And I guess
there you go. There's your curse.
So
the curse of cocaine addiction.
Yeah. So hey, how did you accidentally put that screwdriver through your hand? I don't know, man. Just these things happen.
I need somewhere to put my coke.
But apparently somebody sneezed on set while he was doing something one day, and like he just commented he was so pissed, and he's like, "Oh, there goes $50." Just like somebody sneezed out a bunch of coke, right?
Right.
So, he kills everybody in like order of which they raped.
Shelley. Okay.
An interesting thing is something they changed from the comic.
I thought he just ran into the whoever the Raven brought him to, right?
Yeah. Well, the crow does bring the like. I'm gonna save the crow because it's supposed to be a crow. It's just they used a raven in the movie.
Oh.
But the
call him the Raven Crow or Crow Craven.
Craven. Yeah, we're gonna get the Craven out.
Yeah.
But I love this guy. He's such a good character for this. And the dreadlocks just make it better the way it moves around.
Shaked her pink ass and she loved it.
Oh God.
Did you say that yet?
No, he hasn't. Oh, wait. Yeah, he did. That was when he got the headbutt in.
Halloween ain't till mañana.
Oh God. Like, look at.
I learned a different language watching this film. It's like I learned something from this.
Yeah. Try harder. Try again.
What about the sequels? Did you like any of the sequels?
I couldn't watch them.
I wouldn't either. I would not disservice the memory of the late great
and that was
Brandon Lee.
Well, and that's why I was bothered by the idea of doing a remake. I was like, I'm sure there's more story to tell and stuff like that because it was a comic book series and all that. And I was like, I couldn't deal with the other ones just because I couldn't take the guys they picked. Mark Dacascos was the only one I could sort of take seriously as the Crow,
right?
Who's now the chairman on Iron Chef.
Oh my God!
And he was in Double Dragon. So I was like, this is the only piece of music that bothered me in the whole movie. So this set is very important to a movie we once done.
Yeah, I flicked this one too.
Yeah. But this set is where the Foot Clan used to gather in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Perfect place to have them. Perfect.
The other movie that took place in
see some
North
teens
Carolina.
Playing some narc and stuff, smoking cigs and drinking pops.
Smoking cigs.
Their parents don't like them doing either one of those.
No
so
doubt.
They're doing it all night.
Yeah. Several different people had a chance to be the Crow.
You mean Craven?
James O'Barr. Yeah, James O'Barr wanted Johnny Depp, who was kind of young at the time, so it kind of would have worked.
Yeah.
River Phoenix and Christian Slater turned down the role.
River Phoenix, eh?
Yeah. So this was around that
Tony
time.
Todd.
Yeah.
I forgot the Candyman was in this one.
Tony Todd is just another guy who with a insane career.
You say straight out of a Big Daddy Kane music video.
He started out like his early roles. He was in like Platoon and Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman. He was in the Night of the Living Dead remake, which is phenomenal. That is a sexy Bai Ling. She's so gorgeous. He was in Candyman, obviously. He was in The Rock. He's in Final Destination, Hatchet. Also in 24. A lot of these people are in 24. He's actually the voice of Zoom in the TV show The Flash right now.
He is?
Yeah, so he's got like a lot going on for him.
Oh, this guy's just getting ladies,
Bai Ling, she was like just like almost fresh out of China when this movie happened.
She's in a lot of shit, right? Isn't she dressed right wacky whenever you see her? She's dressed all fucking weird and like...
That's Bjork. No, she's a bit of a psycho. Like she was.
Yeah, I've seen her. I can picture her at like red carpets, and it's always like, "What in the fuck is this chick wearing?"
Yeah, but like she was in Nixon, Red Corner, Wild Wild West, Anna and the King, Sky Captain, The World of Tomorrow.
Way too much red lipstick on there, lady.
Yeah, she was cut out of Star Wars Episode 3. She had a scene.
Oh,
and the scene ended up getting cut.
Oh,
and
bummer.
She thinks it's because she posed in Playboy before the movie came out, but George. George Lucas he denied it, just basically saying he cut that entire storyline, which was a bunch of scenes.
Right.
So, and like she was only in one of the scenes that they cut. So, what else was she in? She was in Crank High Voltage, where they said that she literally threw out the script and just started doing all her own stuff. And then
that's a great idea.
And they're sitting there, they're like, well, we can either sit her down and tell her she has to do it as written, or just leave it. And they're like, let's just leave it. And
I love that. She actually got away with it. I love that.
Neville and Taylor, man, they just know what they're doing.
I like it. They just do whatever I want to on the set.
And then just out of nowhere, they were like,
She's the Asian Grace Jones.
She
does whatever the fuck she wants to.
But yeah, she was kind of hard to understand, but not so much that they needed to dub her. So they just gave her subtitles, even though you could understand what she was saying. So they just put subtitles down for everything she said. I love that. And she was also in Sharknado 5.
Oh my God. Did I see Sharknado 5?
I don't know.
I must have. Come on. Jesus Christ, how did I miss that?
It's, again, I just like Rochelle Davis, or I just like, every time I see her, I assume that she's somebody who's been in something more recently, and I can't figure it out. But it, like I said, it ended up being nothing.
The police. What a dickbag.
I know.
What a mom, eh?
Fun Boy's having so much fun there, not knowing he's gonna like accidentally murder.
He doesn't look like he's having a lot of fun.
Well, he's into drugs, and he's.
I do want a foot-long hot dog now, though. Man, that hot dog shit looks so good.
That did look. I don't want the onions. Though,
you know what I was gonna say too but I didn't. Was the continuity in the scene was amazing because Buddy was smoking a cigarette, right? Egon there.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name was. He Egon?
He was Winston.
He was Winston. Winston, right? So Winston was smoking a Winston, and then when she had when it came back. His cigarette was at the point it should have been with her hot dog being eaten. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whoever did that scene, I was like, that was great.
Yeah.
You don't see the crows, and do you see any crow when you go to Comic-Cons? See any crows still?
Not really, to be honest with you. I don't like for how many people are done. Like people like to do ones that are really kind of elaborate or really lazy. Not in the middle. Like I'll buy the Deadpool outfit and then just dress like Deadpool.
Just slap it on.
Or like there was a guy last year who was dressed like Groot, like on stilts, and he was like, like 8 feet tall.
God.
It was great.
How do you go to the bathroom as Groot?
You just don't.
You find out how, that's how you find out how, what's his name does it in the movies? Vin Diesel.
Yeah, probably.
He's going to have to go to the bathroom sometime.
They have to just shut everything down, I'm assuming.
Ooh, look at that. Bam. Healed up. So shit on me.
When they were trying to decide how to
he's drooling a little bit.
Yeah. When they were trying to decide how to reshoot for him, because digital really wasn't a thing at this point.
No.
Not for human. Like they did like this came out after Jurassic Park and stuff like that. But like they hadn't made humans. He actually cut his hand there, and that was breakaway glass. And John Polito, no word of a lie, told him, he's like, you're gonna end up dying in a movie accident.
No.
Because he was like
it's like candy glass. Yeah. He just cut his hand open.
He was like, who does that? He's like, you're gonna end up getting killed during a movie shoot.
Oh my God.
And it happened.
I regretted those words, right? Holy shit.
I'm certain of it. But
maybe because his father was so tough, he was born super weak. Like a fake bullet killed him. He hits candy glass, it cuts his arm.
Who knows?
But only movie stuff.
It breaks my heart because I would have loved to have seen what they would have done with him.
Is that Edward James Olmos' face?
a little bit.
Like, oh my Lord, this is Edward James Olmos' son.
It's
Look at
just
this
a
guy.
super close up on Seal's cheek.
Is that Seal's chin?
Yeah.
In a movie?
Yeah, Seal's chin in the movie. The whole thing is Devil's Night because that's why it looks like it's on fire.
He does
like,
look like he's fucking Edward James Olmos. He looks like he's gonna whip some origami out or something.
Yeah. The so anyways, yeah, like I was saying, they were trying to figure out how to reshoot, and they were like, okay, well, we're going to use body doubles and stuff like that, but they were trying to sort out how they were going to get around like seeing his face. And they had, for most movies, they make masks for the stunt people and stuff like that for like long shots. So they're like, oh, we'll just put the masks on him and then put makeup on the mask. But it really creeped everybody out. So they destroyed the masks and then just decided to do the digital from there. But again, this was after the fact. Now there
was like a face of Brandon Lee, like a mask of Brandon Lee's face.
Yeah. So anyways, like I said, Paramount just wrote off. It was probably like an insurance thing.
That
like
looks hella dangerous.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, let's put all in a nice dry attic. Let's
yeah,
put all
like the roof is like
candles.
5 feet from like 4 seconds from the flames.
Yeah, it's all good. I love this shot. The idea of the eyes closed.
Right.
I think the way that they represent his powers in this. Now, again, I'm not familiar with the comics, so I don't know exactly
not at
what
all,
his comics are or what his powers and stuff
Call that
were.
a diamond?
But yeah, I know. Well,
Jesus, like she stayed with you.
He was a musician, right?
Right.
I assume he just played.
She
that
knew what
club
she
all
was
the
getting.
time.
Yeah.
But
he just rocked out on the roof all
the role of
fucking
Shelley,
time.
that was actually offered to Cameron Diaz.
Oh, no way.
She turned it down. She didn't like the script. I'm like, what does the script have to do with it? You have a line in this. You're just supposed to look pretty while he's like kissing you.
Yeah, you're like the background guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the script.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm really not behind this. He was the perfect guy. Actually, Brandon Lee had a guy in mind to play Gideon during this. It was a guy who was like in the Maltese Falcon or something like that. He's like, you need somebody like that. And then they ended up getting him kind of based on that.
I think he's perfect. Sometimes they hit it right on the head, man, with the casting, and he's perfect as the Crow.
Oh, he's amazing.
I don't know the character like you said in the comic, but I just cannot picture anybody else doing this.
Yeah. He wasn't actually a musician in the thing. I can't remember what he actually was, but he wasn't a musician. They changed it to have a lot to do with James O'Barr's like influence from music and stuff like that, and Alex Proyas as well with his like he was so into the music for this. Like he approached Robert Smith about writing the song and that sort of thing because he was such a huge when he was like going over the script. Like he didn't write the script, but when he was going over it, he was like he was listening to The Cure and a couple other bands and stuff like that to kind of get himself in the mindset.
Right.
This shot, they actually have oversized rings, like when you see it come out of the smoke.
Right there.
Those are just giant rings like hanging in front of the camera.
Oh, that was the Eddie Valiant getting kicked out of the club. Did you hear the noise he was making?
Yeah.
The Crow has really cool lines in this movie as well. When he was throwing the rings at him, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it's a really cool line. Yeah. He says really cool shit to the bad guys in this movie.
A lot of them are straight out of the source material.
Okay. Because I was like, man, that's like really good for a movie. Like, man, the lines are so cool.
Yeah. Alex Proyas, he wanted to do this movie black and white. And they said no. They're like, you're like a nobody director at this point. We're not going to let you like dick around.
Right.
So he basically tried to make it as monochromatic as possible with just like the highlights of fire or red. Right. Those kind of things. So it ended up looking really good. But it is exactly like you said. He was Zack Snyder before Zack Snyder was anybody.
Totally. Like.
Right. Brandon Lee also, he had been already cast as Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat when
who was Brandon Lee was going to be Johnny Cage.
Yeah, and then he died, so he wasn't Johnny Cage.
Oh, bummer! I would have liked to see the acting crossover because Johnny Cage is a completely different character than this.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and that would have been
like I would have showed his chops off pretty well, right?
But that movie was supposed to be such a big thing, like because he was also at one point like that was supposed to be Van Damme, so that would have gotten him a lot of attention. Where it's like, oh, he's replacing Van Damme and all this kind of thing. And if he would have just looked good in it, that would have been the next big role.
Yep.
And that's all it takes is it would have gotten the thing.
So this is North Carolina.
Most of it, a lot of it's
set, or is it just
set?
Because it looks dirty as hell. Yeah. It looks like the city's just in shambles.
Yeah, but like a lot of this was done on set, but also a lot of it was done like they found these warehouses in North Carolina and they shot them.
Right. Well, it didn't take long before the cockroaches came and started grabbing free shit.
Yeah.
Got like an alarm that goes off in my house. The pawn shop blew up again. All right, like fucking A.
No doubt. Yeah, it's like this is basically this is after the Super Bowl. This day takes place.
This
after
is
the
exactly
Super
it. It
Bowl.
had nothing to do with the Crow and everything to do with those goddamn fans. So what happened in New England? Did they trash the place too? Or
No, they probably just got
didn't have
really
the heart.
drunk.
They didn't have a heart in
No,
it.
but there's only so many. I don't think they would have though, like because like there's only so many places that really get into that. L.A. gets into it. New York gets into it.
I guess
Philly
Philadelphia.
gets into it. Like Boston, like proper Boston probably would have got into
Hey
it.
man,
But like,
do you want to go? We lost. Do you want to go trash the city? I don't know, man. My heart's just not in it.
yeah, I just gotta go home. Go home, get wicked pissa.
Wicked pissa.
So we got to talk about. We haven't talked about Michael Wincott yet.
I was waiting for you to get to
one
old
of the
Michael here.
And we got to talk about him for major reasons. Also, a Canadian fella born in Scarborough.
He is?
Yeah.
Is he? Did he die? Is he dead?
Live and kicking, baby.
Okay.
He was just most recently in Westworld.
Oh, sweet.
So he's still going.
What a cool
he was
voice
in,
he's got, eh?
He was in Talk Radio, and Born on the 4th of July, and The Doors. So he's a he's a pet project of Oliver Stone, clearly.
Right.
He was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, obviously.
Remember when we used to huff eyeball smoke?
Yeah.
Gets you fucked up, eh?
It is good. Like it's not. It's much better for you than cigarettes.
Strangely enough.
Right. He was in Three Musketeers. The one
That's
with
right.
Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Oliver Platt. He was in Strange Days, Basquiat. He was a voice in Treasure Planet, which kind of surprised me. I'm like, why aren't you in a voice in everything?
Yes.
Like that made. And again, it's all the lines in this. He got himself perished.
Got himself parry. He should be reading books on tape.
Yeah.
But one's for kids. Real gruff like.
Yeah, for sure. Like the lines.
He wasn't in
like you
Robin
said,
Hood?
He was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. So he's got like a killer. He's got a killer thing. What was? I still don't understand what the working for was. He's like, we're just gonna destroy things, or because like there's not a shipment of cocaine.
What's their job?
Yeah, he's just like, you're working.
They're
for
into
me.
it all. You know, they're dabbling and they got all their fingers in a lot of pies.
I hear you.
It's a crazy town out there, man. You got to keep it.
Yeah.
You got to stay loose.
Everybody is so cool in this though. Like nobody looks the same. Where I think maybe like the Matrix kind of went wrong like that, because everybody's just basically okay, cool sunglasses, black leather,
Trench coat,
tight clothes, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This one is like, okay, this guy's gonna wear the suit, and this guy's gonna have like the this, and this girl, and this
will
guy's
be the
gonna
crazy
be the leather,
guy
and
with
this guy,
the
like,
yeah.
So I think they did a much better job.
I don't think this is a really
but, I
safe
mean,
town for her to be wandering around in all the time.
No, yeah.
Seems to be night forever.
She's always
This is Detroit.
right.
It's now just nighttime, day and night.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that
do you
they
have
had a
migraine?
weird relationship with this little girl.
Yeah. So how do they know her?
They just-
What's the deal?
They know her from just
neighborhood, probably, right?
Yeah, I always thought that maybe she also worked at the bar. Like the way I had it in my
Right.
mind is that bar they were just at, she worked at, and Darla worked there too.
Right.
And he was the band.
Right.
right?
Okay.
'Cause, I
That's
mean,
not a bad way, you know.
Like that. That's how I see
Put
it.
it
Like
together.
Again, like I don't
Can't
get
rain
that
all the
from
time.
anything. See, that was my least favorite part of the whole movie. She put it together in a less than a quarter of a second.
Why
Can't
why
rain-
not though?
Well, but like, what you can't
Like
just
what are
say
we
something.
stupid? Like this is not like some superhero movie where like I'm standing next to you with a mask on and you don't know who I am.
But she's not looking at him. It's not like,
One
oh, you're
line.
Eric. Yeah,
You used
but,
to say it all the time.
yeah. But it's not even something he said. It's something he sings. So it's like that would be like me quoting a song and then them just assuming it was me, like I was that person.
Yeah, but when you know the person that well, like come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like they should have done
A little bit more of a mystery of this to
or just not her go Eric. Like have her give her the realization face.
Right.
And like just like that split second, because again, he's been dead for a year. So there's no circumstances where you assume he's gonna be behind you.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So-
That'll give it to you. Okay. Yes. The
Yeah.
absurdity of him being there should be like, huh? Like what the frig?
So then she does that and she's like, hey, wait a minute. See, he's already put it together too.
Is that all racism aside?
yeah.
Is that the cop from
No, just
from she looks like the chief from Luke Cage? Because this was like 20 years ago or something, right? At this point.
I didn't look her up. I don't think that that's the case, but I didn't look it up, so I honestly don't know. I was getting into a thing where I was getting a lot of cast members for a movie that
Right.
doesn't have a big cast, and I was like, I can't give everybody equal time, or we're never going to talk about anything of substance.
Oh my God. Do we ever?
Well, I'm trying to.
Oh, what tune's this?
I can't remember this one. Oh, this is how you do heroin. So this is a little like life lesson thing here, in case you haven't figured it out.
It's not Ministry. It's like one of those like.
It's
one of those bands I didn't know at the time and still don't. The song still kicks ass. Nothing more romantic than shooting your old lady up.
Yeah.
You save your arms.
No, not trying to be any kind of PSA or anything like that. I never understood. Like, I don't understand drugs in general, but I like to
shoot heroin. I'm in.
Super duper hardcore stuff. Like, could you imagine somebody coming to you and going, "Hey, you like to smoke pot from time to time?" And the person's like, "Oh yeah, well let's move on to crocodile." Like, it's just like it's like.
I just never thought when you're the first person that that did it in the neighborhood, and your drugged out friend is like, "Hey, you want to do fentanyl?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got nothing to do this afternoon. What the hell?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, not like asking you to smoke a joint or like have a drink or something, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I am a nothing of those types kind of guy, but it's like I don't have a problem with somebody who smokes pot or somebody who drinks or whatever, but I have a pretty huge problem with somebody who's like, I think the needle stuff is the way to go. Oh, this is actually the scene in which he dies.
Oh, right here.
So
I thought it was at the church.
Oh, you know what? I think you might actually be right now. I'm thinking, but he shoots him. Oh no, he shoots him in the hand here.
Yes.
So yeah, you're right. It's the I
like what he does with the light bulb there, like he's a cat or something, eh? Like,
yeah. He just he's
he probably just did that too. They probably never told him to do that. He probably just did that. He probably just knew he had to walk into the scene in the dark.
I think that the makeup and the costume is very freeing for an actor.
Yes.
Right? Like, you must actually have to think like you walk in and you are different from everybody else.
Right.
Like, you can see around you, even if you're not going method, you just see a bunch of different actors, but you look at yourself and you're like, I'm not one of them.
That's what they say once you strap the clothes on. Like, what a great scene here.
Yeah. I like that little moment that you get from him, right? This is brilliant.
A good looking hand. Looks like a fake hand.
Yeah, but what I don't like is it's clearly the double screen, like the green screen. Like, it's clearly not his hand.
Not there. Well, before it looked like it was an actual animatronic hand or something, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to say, what's his name from No Country for Old Men?
Yeah.
He had no idea what he was going to do. He said he was panicking.
Yeah.
Because it was like his day to be on set. He knew his lines, but he had no idea how he was going to play the character. Not one clue until they cut his hair.
Yeah.
On the day or the day before or something, they said they gave him his haircut, and the moment he saw the haircut, he was like, there he is.
Yeah.
And that's when he knew what to do.
See, that's crazy. And like, that's to me the dream of being an actor. Like, I have no... Like, I love that line.
Look what you've done to my sheets.
We also missed the Jesus Christ joke,
yeah,
but
we missed that story.
It's an all good one. But the like, to me, the best part about being the actor is finding the character, and like, and to be able to dig deep, like to do it with a budget like this, right? Like,
got
to
a
be
nice
able to
rack
really
on her,
dig deep.
eh?
Yeah, she really does. But I think she was the first girl who had saggy boobs that I was into. If you really think about it, like, any other girl you ever see have like big fake boobs or whatever, and hers were kind of bouncing around and like flopping down a little bit, and I was like, oh my god,
flop and drop. I like a lady that can hold a razor.
She looks how Drew Barrymore should look, like given how she grew up.
That's a good call. She looks how Drew Barrymore feels.
Yeah, well, but like,
she does look
with
like
her druggy past.
If
like
Drew
that.
Barrymore continued to be on the drugs when she was younger, this is who she would turn out to be.
Yeah, exactly. So even like her,
forced
like her mouth,
detox,
like,
but you're
she does very specific mouth things and stuff like that, and it's just like, I feel like that almost informed her a little bit.
She's like a mixture of like the mom from the Goldbergs mixed with Beverly D'Angelo, mixed with the past drug addiction of Drew Barrymore.
There you go. The mom from the Goldbergs, also what was Reno 911?
Yeah,
like,
she's
just
hot
right
too,
up.
eh?
Oh, and
man,
Bridesmaids.
Yes,
just so good.
That was a neat scene of him squeezing the drugs out. The drugs out.
I had a question about it when I was growing up. I was like, is it because he's that strong, or is it a power he has to like undo the wrongs of the world?
It's probably that. He's probably very powerful, but I think even squeezing it wouldn't do it. He's got it's his mystic vibe.
It certainly wouldn't. It would
squeeze that,
like blood would come out, not just the drugs.
He's got it going on, man. He's the Crow.
Oh, it's so good.
We found his fucking...
He's going to start shooting
what the hell? She didn't finish it. He's gonna inject it right into the tip of his penis.
That would have been amazing. It goes, and then like Sarah comes in and she's like, "Eric, where are you?" And he's just off to the side, like drooling. He's like, "I get what people do."
What kind of a movie set is everybody doing cocaine? And was it the kind of thing where like next to the craft services table there's a giant plate of cocaine, or
That's
is it
Crown
just
Royal,
like,
a Canadian
hey,
whiskey.
that's like the #1 whiskey in the world right there,
There you
Crown.
go. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. Fuck, I do it all the time.
I know.
Look at this. The good call on the Crown Royale, man.
Yeah.
I think Tony Todd looks cool. Look at his coke nail.
Yeah, I love the coke nail. So anyways, what were you saying? I apologize.
Fuck, I was saying coke nails are in. But I like to do mine Lee press-on nail style.
Yeah.
Like, I like to lose mine. I want it to erode. I want to know that the shit I'm snorting is so good it just threw off my whole diamond nail. Fucking right. Yeah. The Knutsons. Look, he's got his pinky out too, right?
Nice. I apologize because you were making a good point.
I was not. I never do. No. But... oh, that Eric Draven, I tell ya. Here comes somebody else. What a grody way to die, too, right? They deserve it, the fuckers.
Well, he did murder him for real. So
are you down with vigilante justice if it's warranted?
Yeah, I'm down with vigilante justice.
I am. I dig it, man.
I'm not down with the murder part. I'm down with, like, taking, like, did you see that guy who...
Spider-Man?
No. No. The guy who was the father of the gymnast who was, like, molested by...
Yeah,
doctor.
He came after his buddy. They let him go. Good.
But what happened first? Because he actually said to the judge that he asked for the opportunity to speak, and he's like, as part of his punishment, I want you to sentence him to 5 minutes alone in a room with me. And the judge was like, I can't do that. He's like, 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not how justice. And then he charged the guy.
And he charged him
because he actually thought he was gonna get it.
He should have.
Like, well, that's the thing. It's like that's the problem, though.
That
right?
should be the main thing. It's like, okay, you know what? If I was the cops in the room, I would have been like, as he's charging, I would have been like, oh shit, and then like, oh, I can't get my gun out. Like I can't. Oh, I tripped over my feet. Like I can't get to him. Why can't I get to him?
Yeah,
he's pummeling this guy. I just can't seem to get to him.
I know.
Butterfingers.
Right? Well, and I mean, they'd let a little bit of that justice take place in the jails, like that. If you expect that guy to, like, make it to old age,
well, hopefully, like, you guess maybe there's like a thing where they don't tell you, where like. He gets put into the prison, and before they bring him in there, the dad gets to have a couple minutes with him. Like the warden lets him come in and just give him, stay there. Don't let him kill him.
Yeah.
But let him just give him a good, he deserves at least that. There's no fucking real, there's no justice in the world for somebody that's gone through something like that, because this piece of shit has rights too.
Yeah.
His lawyer costs more than yours. Somehow this guy's got that guy, right?
Yeah.
And you can't at least give him a couple shots to the head after he just raped like a million fucking women,
but
one of them being your daughter.
The only thing I think about in those scenarios is it makes you feel better for a second.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, it's not really.
And then it's like it's not real because justice should be my thought of what justice should
served
be.
cold.
Yeah, well, it should be served cold
with a side of fries.
But it's the idea of closure, right?
Right.
The wrong has been the wrong has been right.
Yeah, it doesn't stop
and
what
the
had
ability
happened,
to
right?
punch the shit out of him does not.
It's not going to end the heartache that you feel because of the act that has happened.
And killing him is only going to fuck you.
They say living well is the best revenge,
right?
Because there's people out there, on the boats, these assholes. There's a lot of people, and what sucks is that I think about them often because they were bullies.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, I wish I could beat the shit out of them. Yeah. But that you say, that would solve nothing. Living well is the best revenge.
So let's give that
Karma
a try.
Will get them. Karma will get them. And by karma, I mean I have a baseball bat that has the words karma on it. Yeah.
I always assume that the rhythm is going to get you.
Tonight?
Hopefully.
I'm not ready for tonight. I really don't want to. The rhythm is going to get you early afternoon tomorrow. Yeah. Do.
This is actually this portion. Apparently, that second half of this scene was all improvised between the guys. It's very. It's interesting that they gave him. Again, he just wasn't that experienced at this point as an actor. Like, basically, they just brought him out to kick things and then sent him away, right?
Or make cool line. They make a line or two, right?
Basically, he's everything that Ernie Reyes Jr. could have been.
Oh, good old Ernie Reyes. Good old Donatello.
Yeah. No, but think about it. They kind of had the same trajectory. I mean, they both had fathers who were in martial arts movies coming
trajectory,
up.
Trajectory, good word usage.
Well, you know me. And
is his dad Sammo Hung?
What?
Ernie Reyes Jr.?
No, Ernie Reyes Sr. is Ernie Reyes Jr.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Like, he was more like a background guy. Like, he's in The Last Dragon
Right.
as well, and he's in a few other ones like that, but nothing major. But like, they had that same kind of thing, and Ernie Reyes Jr. was given a pretty big chance. He was given Ninja Turtles 2. He was given he wasn't given great ones.
Ninjas
but
Strike
like,
Back, Three Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas.
And but he had like those shots, and I mean, he's still a stuntman and stuff to this day and working. But I think that this movie is the difference between the two of them.
Yes.
They both went off and just did some karate, and then this one he came out and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do karate with my fucking acting." Like he's like, and I mean, and he's really compelling, and I think that. Like,
I agree.
And I'm not saying it's worthy of an Oscar nomination or anything like that, but it's worthy.
Cooler than that.
It's worthy of praise. It's worthy of what was going to come next. And I know we've said it a billion times, but it's true.
Damn true.
This movie cost $2 million less than our last movie, Three Amigos. This cost $23 million.
I was going to try and guess because I remember it was 20-something million was Three Amigos. So this movie was what?
It was $23 million to make this.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that the location had a lot to do because, again, like they talked about the last one, how they were going like, A-list all the way.
Right.
And they had all big stars. This movie had no big stars.
Nope.
And had, all that kind of stuff. But it made $57 million. It opened in first, and it was against like Crooklyn, Four Weddings and a Funeral, Three Ninjas Kick Back. Funny that you just mentioned
God,
that.
no way.
Schindler's List was
That's
at that
too
point.
fucking weird of a coincidence, man.
Yeah, the second movie, or the second week, Maverick came out and knocked it down to number 2. Then Flintstones and Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out the following week and it got knocked down to number 5. But all in all, it was the 10th highest rated R movie of the year, behind True Lies, Speed, Pulp Fiction, Interview with a Vampire, Disclosure, Legends of the Fall, Wolf, The Specialist, and Four Weddings and a Funeral.
The Specialist.
It beat Natural Born Killers.
God. Oh, sweet.
Like, it came, Natural Born Killers was 11, Time Cop's on that list, Beverly Hills Cop 3, like, it's...
Like the money it made.
Yeah, that for domestic.
Right.
So it made 50.7 million. So
It made 57 mil.
50.7.
That's not bad. Oh, well, that's not so good.
It's not as good.
Well, 50.7.
So he's got himself. Hey, he's got a rapier. We mentioned that.
Is his toe sticking out of his shoe there? Oh, that's what's her name's foot. I was like, is that his foot? Like, what?
He wears ambiguous heels.
Frig. I like the her poo-poo hair she's got going on there.
I think it's more poo-poo hair.
Shih Tzu.
See, he's very, like, John Polito's very believable. Like, you would think most of those characters would be super cowardly and stuff. He comes into the crime boss and just like, fuck you, you fucking fuck.
Well, because I think he's got a lot of money. He's making them a lot of money. Oh. Like with his pawn shop, I think a lot of their stuff goes through the pawn shop, right?
Yeah. So a lot of these guys, like, there's all these characters have names and none of them are mentioned by names. Like, there's Top Dollar and Grange and all these people.
Look like a RoboCop gun or something.
Yeah. There was I love that too, right? Like, they don't believe him and then they kill him and then they're like, yeah, by the way, his story checks out.
10 seconds later. Yeah. I should have said this 5 seconds ago, but
probably would have saved
he's not
his life.
lying.
See, this is why I think it was like...
Oh my God, the cat's eating glass.
Yeah, where he was bleeding from. He's licking away all the blood, and he's like, I've got a taste for a crow.
The cat survived.
Yeah.
Living in the same building.
I always pictured that, like, they never actually buried him, and he just ate his body.
Ooh.
And then they just found the remains. I like this idea, too. This is another reason why it's so cool to make him a musician over everything else. This is very Dark City.
Yeah.
Like, it's
and
almost
the crow
like
is being his roadie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crowdy.
Oh, well done.
Sweet.
So, this is...
Do you think that would be cool, man, if like you lived in that shithole and all of a sudden somebody was rocking out on the roof?
I'd be down with
that.
Would
you know that it was like, oh, this is a good guy?
Yeah.
You know? Well, would you feel the vibe of like, oh, tonight's going to be different?
Well, the way the way she recognized him, probably everybody would be just like, oh my God, Hangman's job is back.
They're back. I know that riff.
He's like
1 year ago exactly.
They're doing the rooftop show just like
you
like
too. Yeah.
So yeah, like now mentioning that those are ravens and stuff like that, and that big thing. See, this should have been where she put it together, because what's the point Like
Right.
she right away said,
You're
Eric,
right.
but
It's
then
like
she
they
just
missed
had
an
that
opportunity.
realization. I don't know, and it's just if for any other reason, it's just that kind of like, huh, kind of moment, and then have that that good realization. I don't know.
They should have had a shot with the guys from Dark City on the rooftop as the crow flies by.
Yeah, make it a shared
Yeah,
universe.
yeah, totally. It totally looks like Dark City to me, man.
Yeah.
Whoever did the lighting on this movie had a real job.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, frig, man. Yeah. Is it because we're watching some old VHS copy, or?
Yeah.
So 2 are dead, 2 are left, and the main guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but at this point, all he thinks that he's done once he gets the gang.
Right.
Right. So
Banging away on Darla.
these guys aren't even aware that
Good old
anybody's dead at this point
skank.
except Tintin. Smokes and road beers. I think that's where I got the term road fries.
Road fries.
So I actually did that. I went to a
Where's he getting the
McDonald's.
body work done on this thing?
Oh, he probably does it himself. He seems like he's that kind of guy.
The whole city's like a piece of shit. Man, I wouldn't run a store or nothing in this fucking dump. Every other day you're like getting shot or robbed.
Yeah. Skank is Angel David. He was in not a huge filmography, but he was in It Could Happen to You. He was in G.I. Jane and Salt.
G.I. Jane.
And not the movie Salt. He was just found.
Look
packed
at
in
who,
salt
like,
one
come
day.
on, man.
He wrote a short movie.
Like, he doesn't even open the bag of chips. It looks like he, like, shot the bag open. He's dropping chips everywhere.
There's something about that. It was
Jesus
like RoboCop.
Christ.
See, this is also RoboCop's Detroit, right? Because like people just come in like bad guys. Just I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about the
I don't
poor
even do
Korean
whatever you want, but
family.
don't be opening a bag of chips like that. Like, the fuck are
Yeah.
you even doing? Just because you didn't pay for it doesn't mean you can be a dickhead
That's like,
about it.
That's like I always thought it was kind of an American thing. like it's like wearing shoes inside and ripping bags of chips like wide open, so chips just go everywhere.
Oh, shit. I forgot he got hit by
I
the
love
Pinto.
And this is my
Oh,
favorite
yeah,
part.
this guy. Is that
proceeds-
Henry Rollins?
he looks like I was just thinking as he was about
Oh, there's
to
a
get out.
Rollins band tune on here, too.
Yeah, I like that he still beat up
He
the
whooped
giant
him.
man in a fight.
Oh, yeah. Suckered him.
Yeah. This guy is such a good character guy. He was actually when Brandon Lee found out this guy was gonna play T-Bird, he was super excited because he actually loved him from the Warriors and stuff.
Ah.
And he was like, I didn't realize because like I knew he was in the Warriors, but I didn't know that the Warriors gave him some form of fame. I just thought that was something he was in the '80s, like the
Right.
way Jason Patrick.
No,
is
he's
in
like their
Solar
main
Babies.
dude. He's following them
Like-
the whole time.
Yeah. Like he's just but it's I didn't know that it got him anywhere. Is
Right.
What I mean, right? And so like it's just like, but it's so
What's
good.
with his cheeks? Have you noticed his cheeks?
It's just some people have divots. And
No. He's got two things as if he put them on there. Like as if something
really?
went through, like a bullet went through his mouth or
Oh.
something at one point in time. Watch when they show his face again.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
It's like he's got, there's the nice little
Yeah,
model they're
I can
flying through
see-
there, eh?
Yeah,
See, did you see the one? You'll see there's like two
I can
scars or something. Or
I can see it. I don't know.
something
Yeah,
stuck on.
maybe just dirt.
But it's not even your car, man. The raven, you can see through the raven's eyes.
Yeah, there's some bits on this they could have improved on. Like I think the model work, and I think that the CG of him jumping from building to building.
Not a very long shot, though.
No, it's not a very long shot, and again, it was very early. Like it looked fine then, it just didn't carry over so well. So that's like another reason. Like again, I'm curious about the Crow, like the Crow remake, right?
The remake.
But it's just like
I'll bet you there'll be
it'll
way
never-
bigger fight scenes. Like it'll be way
Oh.
more action oriented. I'll bet
Yeah.
ya.
Yeah, like this one it got you, right?
It'll probably be
just like it was
PG fucking.
emotional
It'll be
and
PG.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, it'll be yeah. Well, and that might be R. There R's a loose thing there, right? But they don't do it.
Yeah,
Like
you can hear you.
Yeah, but like it's just like as far as what's it called? As far as you're allowed to bring kids to R-rated movies in the States.
In the
and you can't
States,
hear
yeah.
and stuff like that. But they warn against that for things like Marvel movies and stuff like that because they don't want you to think that what's happening in a what.
No, what do you mean? Like what?
Oh, they warn against it just because
Like in
against
Deadpool?
R-rated. No, not Deadpool. But I mean, like in the Avengers and stuff, because they want kids to go see it
Yeah.
and to make it rated R is to basically.
He
say,
does
"Don't bring
have
your kids."
scars. Look, there's
Oh,
scars.
It is like yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bullet went through his cheeks. Anyways, right?
That's really cool. But yeah, it's just like so. Like that's the main reason they use something like that. But I don't think that this is going to be something they're going to put towards the kids, right? So I feel like the Crow remake will be rated R, just like this one was.
Right.
So I want you to pay really
Why
close.
this is a rated R, anyways? For fuck's sakes. I know well, it's
This
got
is
some
the
heavy themes, but
It has nudity. It's got themes. It's got language. It's got everything. There's
Oh, the
some
best
butts. There's some
shit.
boobs. Yeah, it is what it is. Well, Under Siege was rated R.
See, it didn't take him long to figure out who he was either.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this must be like Detroit must be the world's smallest town. Like I must know nothing about it. Like 8 Mile Road must be like a lie because the whole town isn't 8 miles long.
It just keeps looping back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
This is a
8
great
mile
scene.
cul-de-sac.
The quote he says is really neat. I never noticed that with his cheeks before until this viewing.
Yeah, no, me either.
Now you're all freaked out, aren't you, buddy?
Bungie. Yeah, the copy we're watching is kind of like weird. It's kind of blurry in a few.
The devil stood and felt how awful goodness was. Ooh, that's a good line, man.
That's a phosphorus grenade he put in his thing. Those things get so hot they'll melt steel.
He just
See what he
melts
did
his
there with
crotch
his
right
wave?
off. Yeah.
No, but did you see specifically what
Yeah,
he
he
did?
was kind of like...
No, he was doing the Warriors.
Oh, he did? Is that what he did?
He did that on purpose. Yeah, he was putting the fingers together.
Boom, I love
like
that. The whole thing
bottles.
comes apart like a... It reminds me of when you're playing dinky cars and it like comes apart.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the frame and the...
Some people might say Hot Wheels, but we compared it to the size of our penis. Current.
We had some pretty big cars back then.
Yeah.
It's pretty big toy cars.
Yeah.
Let me tell ya.
I've
been practicing this forever, and I've never gotten a pure crow like this.
No.
It's either a penis or a boob.
Mine always ends up a swastika.
What weird, eh?
I'm like, oh no, I did it again. I was trying to do a 3D box.
You're shooting it behind you too. You're not even looking. It's frag every time.
Every time.
Oh, they figured out it's the old Draver Raver.
I like that. Why is it like all gray and ashen? Is it because the city's been on fire all night?
Yes.
Okay. This is always my favorite thing about movies like this. There's always somebody who's like, I know the counter curse. To like, but this was never.
I've been studying these things my whole life.
Like very similar to like Beetlejuice. So it's like, I know how to get rid of this. I'm like, no, this has never been a thing up until this exact moment. So I don't really understand who sleeps with their records.
I do.
I have a lot of vinyl and I never sleep with
She
it.
was really liking she's mommy today.
This actually made me happy.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big fan of redemption. It's a very silly, like kind of corny thing to say, but I'm a huge fan of redemption. And when somebody actually legitimately redeems themselves,
right?
It's why movie or shows like Nurse Jackie and Rescue Me kept like disappointing me because they had these moments where
never
they could
have
put it
that
all back
moment
together.
of right, and they don't. Yeah. Well, we like those happy endings. We're friggin'.
Yeah. Well, because it's like the second last episode of every season of Nurse Jackie. She's put it all together and she's got everything back and like it's all good. And then the last episode, she's like doing drugs again. You're like, come on, you just
Nurse
had it. Like,
Jackie. I like Pepper Mags too.
I do.
I don't like the attitude. I understand the attitude she's giving your mother.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, like this is the moment you probably haven't had in forever. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, see, but now she's okay. Good. I was gonna ask you, does she get it in the garbage, or okay, good. She stopped there.
Then she picks up the garbage can and puts it back on the stove, and she's like, okay.
Hot garbage.
Flip. Yay.
I'm a mom again.
See, they should have had a little joke there. She should have screwed it up, and she's like, how about scrambled? And then they have like, I forgive you for everything.
Just like my eggs.
Yeah.
She means the eggs inside of her because of the drug use.
That guy looks like the guy who was in.
That guy's in tons of shit.
No, but he looks like he was the cop from Blood Diner.
He is. He probably he looks totally like.
Yeah, your Edward James almost
exactly.
Yeah,
it's like his son mixed with Mark Anthony. Fuck in here.
He's a handsome devil, though.
Well, at least they don't treat it like, nobody knows who he is and stuff. I kind of dig that everybody understands who he is.
Well, and I'm good with people figuring it out because, I hate when cops don't figure something out. I'm like, your entire job is figuring stuff out.
Yeah, that seems like their job is the opposite.
It's something I like about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, when you have comedic cop shows, it's usually a bunch of misfits who just kind of like solve things by happenstance, but they go out of their way to make sure like these guys are good cops.
They know what they're doing. Yeah.
He's like, they happen to be like immature or whatever. And I've mentioned this before on the show because I talk about the same fucking three things. Hey guys, have you ever seen Community? Have you ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine? And then
I gotta start watching Community.
My
I haven't seen all the
garbage childhood.
communities. My garbage childhood. We're laughing. We're laughing about the pain.
There was a character who was called the Skull Cowboy in the comics. and they did shoot a scene with him apparently, and then they ended up cutting out his entire storyline and all that. But Michael Berryman, who's the big freaky guy in The Hills Have Eyes, he played that character, so he must have been like a big
crazy looking.
So it makes
the comic book was on like on the shelves.
I don't
was it
know.
one runner? Was it just a
no? It
quick.
Was,
what do they call it when it's just like a bunch of them?
Like a limited series?
Yeah, no, like like Preacher and where it's all in one volume.
A compendium.
No, what the hell is the word I'm looking for?
I think I'm choosing that you believe it was a compendium.
Compendium sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, it is.
That sounds fine.
It is a word.
Yeah, no, it describes it properly. I'm trying to think of what the hell word I'm looking for, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Who cares about words, anyways? When we can swear.
Spending your
Fucking right on.
He really was. It's very interesting because when you look at pictures of Brandon Lee, like you see him here and you see kind of one thing, but then you see other pictures and he looks a little more like Bruce Lee, like when he had short hair, like, and it was just like all over the place. But it's like,
I think he's a good looking man.
He's a really good looking man, and it's one of the reasons I'm glad he's dead. One less out there, but
take the heat off,
yeah. You knocked me up from 4,896,000 like whatever to 4,895,999.
That's right.
This scene, there's a scene where the two of them are in it and you don't see Eric Draven's face, and that's body double.
Right.
Which I think that this probably, like, this must have really screwed her up too, eh? This is her first
Everybody, hopefully she wasn't on set, for God's sakes.
No, I don't think so, because if it was the scene where he was shot while they were there, she was the only person in the cast not there.
Right, I think, because they're in the church tower.
Why is that cat perfectly white?
I know, that's what the whole time I was like, The cat is looking beauty, eh?
Yeah, like that cat should be like just like in like the most disgusting cat in the world. Like
he's doing pretty
matted
good.
down grease hair,
and nobody's like redone the place and has moved it. Well, I guess nobody really wants to live in fucking Detroit here, or wherever.
I think a scene they removed was the Property Brothers coming in and flipping this place.
Oh no. We need to drag this blood stain over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then that's going to really tie this room together.
Yeah, exactly. It's already open concept, which is nice, but it doesn't have a kitchen. So
I like the window there.
This is like a New York apartment.
Look at the size. What, you telling me he's going to pay for this place on his fucking salary? What did his wife do? Or his fiance?
I don't know. I'm assuming she was a waitress at the place.
Jesus. They can always afford the hugest places.
Well, like in Friends, at least
that's exactly what I was going to say was Friends.
Friends was the only place, though, that actually came up with an excuse.
What?
They had this gigantic place. She was there on her grandmother's name, and so her grandmother moved in there in the 20s, and they were in rent control.
Grandfathered
so
in.
She's like,
yeah.
So I mean, theoretically, they should be paying a higher price, but they're living there semi-illegally, and they actually deal with that in an episode.
Oh.
And yeah, it was a big
long enough to.
Yeah, it was a big thing, but they actually explained that one away, and in the last episode, they mention it again too.
Sarah. Oh,
it's corny, but again,
it is corny, but I like it
corny
though.
sometimes.
Yeah, it works in this movie. Because there's so much bad, like you gotta have a nice. Oh my God!
I thought
I was like, is that the end of the movie? Yeah. What else is happening there?
Take off to the great one. No, take off.
And a song that has nothing to do with it.
This is my favorite funny scene. Like, even like Michael Wincott, that was legit laughter. There's no way that he decided as an actor he was going to laugh at him in this moment. He just... This is so funny, though. They hired the right guy.
This is me at any bar ever. Talking and like gerbling,
Oh God! Like, can you think of a cooler duo than Tony Todd and Michael Wincott?
I don't think so.
It's the average deepness of voice is like off the charts.
The two of them called him Morgan Freeman.
They're almost inaudible.
They cranked him all day long, right?
Hey, this is
like a Wincott.
Oh my God, it's so good.
He looks like he's straight out of friggin' Robin Hood too. Look at the gloves and the.
Yeah. He's just like, they bring such a style. This was, I think, one of the first movies in the 90s.
It's very vampire.
Yeah, but this was like one of the first movies, and I think maybe even Blade took a little bit of this, like for the movie, is the idea of the bad guys having style. Like, everybody does things in style. Like, I'm not just an evil guy. I'm a guy who like brings something to this.
Right.
Yeah,
she brought the cat to the damn burger dump.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
those fucking eggs have probably been there forever. Look, they're pink.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, it's his new patented cotton candy
Those
boy,
look
like pickled eggs.
Yeah, those look like coconut shrimp sitting in the side there.
They're probably testicles. Yeah, that red hue, that screams testicle to me.
Everything's testicles to you, man.
Not that baklava on the other side. That's clearly not testicles.
It must be really weird to have a conversation with somebody. Hey, I was really going to keep it to myself that I saw a dead dude recently because I didn't want people to think I'm crazy. But you also saw him? Well, good.
Like a living dead guy.
Yeah. So let's we'll go over all the scenes. I think we've covered all the scenes now. See, he's having another solo.
Oh, he's rocking.
He doesn't really put much into it, though. He just stands really still while he plays it out. I'd like to think that was him actually playing, but it's not.
It's not?
No. Well, I mean, it can't. But, like, what are the odds that he's also just, like, a badass?
You still got that finger dexterity, man.
Oh, he's got it. That's Kung Fu. Oh, my God, he lit on fire.
Although the movie does lend itself to sequels, right? Because it says the crow will bring you back in certain circumstances. Yeah. You know, it'll
and they
bring you back to right the wrongs.
And they changed it a little bit because there was one, The Crow's Salvation, that starred Eric Mabius there. He was...
What a fucking name, Mabius.
I didn't do it.
Mabius.
He's the guy... He's also... I think he was from Ugly Betty, which makes it even weirder. But like, his whole thing, he came back because he was, like, executed for killing somebody.
Whoa.
And then he comes back to, like, solve the murder and, like, get
like
proper
in
justice.
Fakeville.
Yeah.
This is my life with the Thrill Kill Cult. Never heard anything other than this tune by them.
Nice. But, what's it called? Yeah, so the scenes that had to be redone or had to be finished without about Brandon Lee, it was when he entered the apartment, the one that we pointed out after he pulled himself from the grave, where he's all shivery. That wasn't him. The shot of Draven falling from the window that we put up.
This looks like your last birthday party.
When he puts on his makeup, when he's like just rubbing the makeup on his face and you can't see his face,
right?
That's him. They computer altered because there's a scene where he like punches the glass and you see his face.
Right.
And that's actually digital.
Right.
So they put the digital and they had to alter the digital so it would like fit in with the shards of glass that he broke.
Right.
So that was a pretty tough one. And then when he's got the crow on his shoulder and he's like the lightnings are flashing and you can see his face.
Right.
So they've done the digital double on his face, but it's a body double.
Is that supposed to be his sister?
Yeah, he mentions that it's his sister.
They got a nice evil racially thing going on. There's black, we got white, and we got Asian.
Yeah, we got it.
They're covering it. At least the evil team's covering it. They got their, what do you call it when you got to hire somebody, what do you call it?
Affirmative action?
Affirmative action. They got it here. They got it going on. At least in
is-
Detroit, they have affirmative action going on, for Christ's sakes, right?
But
how can they be that bad?
I feel, but
You know, like,
I like that.
right?
But I always find that when it comes to these things, the Asians always get left out. I feel like it was kind of like for just a lack of a better term, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and like the African Americans have like the NAACP and all these different things that have been able to help forward them. So they're like, okay, great, we're gonna have more black people in movies playing these roles or whatever. And then there was just like Asians are like, hey, what about us?
You missed him.
Which
you missed Buddy. That's in every movie.
He's
not the guy with the handlebar mustache. He's the other guy. You'll see him. Wait, he's in Die Hard. He's in everything. Watch.
The other guy.
Yeah, you watch. He's the other guy.
I love it. Oh, he's so good. He looks like James Franco there, right?
He does kind of. He looks like James Franco in The Room.
Yeah.
He looks like Wiseau.
Well, if you cut him shoulder length hair, but
is that his real hair? This look nice.
I think it is his. Oh no, you know what? I don't think it is. Now I'm saying, I like that they basically just like got every random type of thug.
Yeah,
they're just like, I'm a businessman. I'm on the streets. Like, how cool would it be to be in a scene like this where you're just like even if you're not the guy who gets to do the loud stuff, like you're sitting there, you're experiencing it.
Skank.
He's so
there,
funny.
Right there.
I saw he was in
Jurassic Park. He's playing
Park.
A Mexican guy. Exactly. Yeah.
He got stepped on by the
T-Rex. Right there.
Yep. Again, another great thing because he probably gets recognized all the time. Oh, so this is basically
and you can be you don't even have to say you're in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in all of them, so
Narrow
just
it down.
name one.
We've narrowed it down. His every motion, I really hate to fanboy out so much when we're doing this because I try to be like the critical eye, but
Yeah,
it's
why
like,
not? Fuck.
no, I get it. Like, it's like, I don't have a problem with it. I just like, sometimes I'm just watching and I'm just like, oh man, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. Right.
Oh, you can't get him. You got to get everybody, bro. Come on.
Kill everybody. This is a scene they probably could have done even, but like it was a pretty cool action scene, but I think they could have even like choreographed this better.
Oh, yeah.
Like picture the choreographer for Daredevil.
Yes, and you get to watch him kill every single guy.
Yeah, just boom, 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 and it's like one flows directly into the other. This is also a lot of gun stuff.
Yeah.
Where I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit of martial arts.
More punching and kicking and yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I like that so many people have different, like, just
Oh
totally
yeah, this
different
guy's
looks.
like the A-team dude. He looks, he's like the Green Beret guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like a ninja at the table. There's like a cholo. There's like a friggin' there's an African headhunter. There's like
He's got a shrunken head.
yeah. There's like some old Irish mobster. There's Tony Soprano.
I was trying to find like a very specific name. It was like the Unabomber.
Yeah, nice hood.
Yeah.
Dig your shades.
That must
What are
be
you writing there?
It must be great to be able to be shot all the time, eh? But here's the thing, because like he kind of reacts like
Oh
he's in
my
pain
god!
there.
Way to hold her in front of nice guy. Right? What are you saying?
They're just sluts. Of course you do that. But no, but it's like it must be nice to be able to do like it. He was acting like he was like getting hurt with some of those bullets, but like earlier when he got the hole blew through his hand, like nothing.
Oh, he was clearly just
Right.
faking.
So
yeah.
but like in this one, I don't know if maybe it's just because he was struggling to get to the next thing or whatever. But it was like. Oh, I just love
like
it
a
so
more
much.
cohesive action scene would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Like a longer jumping over the table, under the table,
Like-
kicking chairs out.
Like as difficult as it would have been, imagine like a one take or one that they cut to make it look like
Right,
one take.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that kind of thing, man. Daredevil did that so well.
Yeah, and that was one of those things because apparently, like a lot of people are doing those things now where it's like, oh, they make things look like it's one take for the whole thing. There was an episode of a TV, I can't remember what it was now, where the whole thing looked like it was one take, but it's all because they edit it just so.
Right.
It's like, oh, they go to a thing here and then they like whip the camera over here, but that's when the cut.
That's
takes
when
place.
the cut happened. Yeah.
And I was like, so you do
That's
some
pretty cool. Even they're cheating. That's what movies are all
yeah.
about, cheating.
Yeah, but it's all about the image. Who gives a shit about what's really
Yeah,
happening?
like,
in a movie,
fuck.
right? Well, it'd be like watching like Star Wars and then being like, oh, that's not really space in the background. That's a green screen. Well, does that take you out of it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's just going to actually literally see the green screen, then yes.
Yes. That would be amazing if somebody just did that one time. There's just big hunks
Couple
of green
scenes that
screen,
they just couldn't get together right at the end.
Yeah, we had a blue screen up and a green
Imagine
screen.
it yourself, people. We're sick of it. Oh, here we go. Look at all them swords.
It felt like it took a long time to really chase the people out of the club. I feel like when the first bullet was fired, that
They
they
didn't care.
probably would have left.
Well, the first guy that fell out, they're like, is this part of the show? Then the second guy falls out of the window, and you're still like, I kind of still digging the vibe in here.
And then after that, it
Yeah.
goes, it's raining, man.
And that's when the screaming started. Yeah.
The light, it's crazy. This was actually a brilliant idea of Skank. I was like, take a shot, right?
Skank's dead.
Skank really fell apart.
Skank is like the only one who really. I like that shot.
I liked it and disliked it. At
Yeah,
the
I
same
know.
time.
It's a kind of.
Oh, that was one of those what the crap scenes. There's two
What
times
the
when somebody
crap?
says what the crap in this movie.
Uh-oh.
I love this.
Da-da-da-da-da-la-la.
It's so.
Hey. He like the whole time. I don't know if he reminds me of the Joker sometimes or like
I get a lot of vibes like when he came into
Yeah,
that scene.
like-
I get a lot of the Joker, but there's, I don't know. There's a certain playfulness that he does this with that you get the Joker from. Even his like, if you go back and watch that Fun Boy scene where he shoots him in the hand.
well,
and
there's
he
more of
goes-
your favorite.
Yeah, that was not great.
That's like a Predator jump.
That looked like from like the Super Nintendo video game of The Crow. But like when he had the hole blown in his hand and he bends over and he's like, oh, whatever. That's kind of like if you see a scene where like when Batman's beating up on the Joker
Right.
in The Dark Knight and he kind of bends over, like it's almost the same physicality.
Right.
So I bet you a little bit of this bled into that.
I
bet
think
you,
it
like-
did, actually,
and
'cause
I don't
his-
think it was subconscious.
I think Heath Ledger's Joker's got a lot of Brandon Lee's Crow in it.
Yeah. Yeah, when you really
Which I
look at
didn't
it-
put it. I never really thought of until we were watching this, and I was like, man, like.
Well, I can honestly tell you I haven't seen The Crow since I first saw Dark Knight.
Yeah, I haven't watched it since either, right?
Like there's certain
Not
ones
like I watched it close to it, but I've definitely seen The Crow and then way later saw that and then didn't see The Crow again.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. So yeah, you don't put those things together.
And this movie definitely could have been longer.
I could have done like a 2-hour, 20-minute version.
You should have like a Netflix show where they kind of stretch it out a bit, right? You get more backstory.
You could easily. We were actually talking about like movies that you could turn into good Netflix series.
He's got blood all over this chair too. That's cool. I guess he hasn't healed up yet.
No. Either that or the blood that has already come out of him. Like he bleeds
stuck
and then,
onto it. Well, it's not stuck, but there's still blood on his.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's possible. But again, it's so very weird that they just like, we all know exactly what this is. And it, like, I feel like.
Well, that's why they got her, because she's Asian. So she's into the mystic stuff.
Why are you air quoting Asian? She is
I don't know.
Asian.
Yeah, no, she really does look Asian. Well, I don't know. Movie magic.
Yes, yeah. But she's the mystic Asian.
So now that's why she's kind of like, ooh, I've heard of this before. Ooh, you know what?
Yeah.
A raven? Oh,
there actually was a different character that was in the comics that Brandon Lee asked very specifically to have removed from the script because they were too stereotypical of an Asian. Like this person, like she's not like...
He's all over this movie.
Yeah. She's not like, I use ancient oriental secrets, like, and stuff like that. She's just a creepy girl who happens to be Asian, right? But there was a guy who's very... Like he's like the ancient, and he's got the handlebar mustache, and he's got the whatever, and they're like, yeah, I'd really rather not.
Like, I'm glad to see the kids are still going out for Halloween in this friggin' Jesus Christ. Whose parents let you go out in this Detroit for the...
One of them's probably Marshall Mathers, if you actually do the math on his age.
Probably, eh? Oh, he's liking them. Look, he's like, hey, there's ghouls out.
Well, it really, and I actually...
It's a cool scene, actually, eh?
I thought about that scene fairly recently. Without again having watched the movie, was the idea. It was the idea that it was the first piece of joy he's actually received. Like he's had kind of relief and stuff like that. Oh my god, I get to see Sarah. I get to do this.
Yeah,
but he's like, this is the moment where it's just kids playing, and I get to just enjoy it.
Yeah, that was a nice moment actually. He's like, hey, you fell asleep in the cemetery again.
Yeah,
Jesus, their mother must be freaking. No wonder her mother's on heroin. Sleeping in goddamn graveyards and
that would be amazing. She
eating
goes
hot dogs with cops.
Yeah, never eat a hot dog with a cop. They'll definitely. You
think she goes home and what?
Yeah, she goes home and then she finds her mom just like destroyed again because it's like I was too late and I chased her away.
My eggs weren't good enough.
Oh my god,
that's right, lady.
She's just got a needle hanging out of her arm and she's just throwing eggs.
She's been shooting up egg yolks all afternoon.
Everybody, have you ever freebased egg yolk?
It's shit.
It's something. It's precisely what it's the reason that a chicken can live for a while without its head.
Right.
It's like that's the kind of energy you're putting into yourself.
That's the kind of gumption I like out of an animal.
Yeah, I feel like she would have gotten that as a keepsake afterwards.
Well, no, because it was sold. Because they robbed it. They robbed it and then took it.
Yeah, they didn't get a whole lot.
Should have been in something else, or she reminds me of somebody. Or
nothing between this movie, 1994,
and
95, and Hell House in 2009. But again, I think that must have just fucked her up. Like, that's her first movie, and the star of the movie, who she shares almost all of her scenes with, dies. Like, I would mess you up, and it was, and maybe even from a parent's perspective, it's like we got to protect her,
right?
Let her do this.
There's probably some therapy involved.
I'm sure of it.
We all need therapy. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's just Ernie Hudson and him actually were friends like for years prior to this movie coming out, and so like, and then he's like, then this movie happened, and it was just like. But everybody who says something about it always like was like, yeah, just working on that movie, it felt like it was inevitable.
Right.
It was just, but again, it's
weird.
It's the cocaine. Like they're like, so many bad things happen. This movie's cursed. No, when everybody's on cocaine, everything bad is going to happen.
That's the curse.
And that's literally somebody going there. And
never as a director should you ever allow that kind of thing. I know Oliver Stone, I guess, when making Natural Born Killers, they were doing a lot of drugs and but I mean, Oliver Stone is a celebrated filmmaker. I'm sure he can put anything back together, and he knows what he's doing, right? Yeah. Well, I'm not saying this guy doesn't, but you can't be on set doing all these drugs. Like, Jesus.
But they said like the cameraman between shots would like go, and again, I'm not trying to like slander anybody specific. I'm saying cameraman because it was like a crew person, you know. It's and this
say
is
their name.
I don't know, and this is just all based on like stories that they said, but they said it was just everywhere.
Dear God. And that's why I asked, like, was there a big giant like table of it, or because there's kids on set? What's her name's on set? Are they doing it kind of behind closed doors?
I imagine just everybody had access to their own stashes, and they would go and do it, and like they're like people would go to the bathroom.
I keep mine in my pimp ring.
Yeah.
I roll this around and boom.
I'm old school. That's where my snuff goes.
Snuff porno.
Yes.
It's on a little digital microchip.
Yeah. I like the way they did his outfit. I like it better without the jacket that
Me too.
Just nice and tight and just showing off his
I think Marilyn Manson
figure.
took a lot of stuff from that outfit too. If you look at his first videos, well, not his first, but the ones for Antichrist Superstar where he got really popular, he's got that kind of black leather thing strapped around him.
Yeah.
Like the same kind of top.
See, and
this is right here where he gets killed for real, isn't it?
No, because it was Funboy who killed him. And Funboy's dead already.
Oh, it was? I always was understanding it was right here where they shoot him.
No, it was Michael Massey who actually who pulled the trigger. But yeah. It's
I always thought it was this scene right here. Or coming up or whenever it is, right?
No, this guy kept acting, so.
Oh, Michael Wincott doesn't care whether you die on set or not. He is going to keep going. He is a consummate professional.
Michael Wincott is more disappointed when he doesn't kill somebody. The fact that he didn't accidentally murder Kevin Costner still haunts him to this day.
I thought it was right here.
Yeah. No, and where he got shot to was the stomach. They actually said, though, because of his death, they changed. I liked that, too.
Why is he hurting again?
Because the crow's injured. Like, he's invincible because the crow was fine. Now the crow's hurt, so he can be hurt. And then if the crow dies, he can die. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Cat's like, what?
There's a cat.
It's been bothering the cat the whole time.
Yeah.
It's glad that you cleared that up for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they said his death actually changed a lot of the safety. Like now what they do, nobody ever points a gun at somebody anymore. It's always on an angle, and then they use camera angles to make it look like they're pointing it right at them. So then even if there is an accidental discharge, because there's another thing actually, and this is another thing that comes from Bruce Lee. In Bruce Lee's Game of Death, like in the making of or whatever, they talk very specifically about blanks and how a lot of them have wads of paper, and you can actually be shot and killed by a wad of paper.
Yep.
Usually they burn away, but sometimes they'll
get you
off and they can hurt you. And they're like, yeah. So
dear God, what was that?
That was my cat. That was one of my cats trying to get in a room.
It's freaking, eh?
She likes to sleep in Abby's room, but
like
only for
Ernie.
a little bit, and then so I let her in, and then she goes and sleeps in there, and then she wants out like 5 minutes later. So we have to make the hard choices sometimes.
My cat's been like, my mother's cat's been every night at the same time, man. Yeah. Just shh, on like a door, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Then Ernie came to help us bro out.
Yeah. I like that he's hurt. Oh, I like this idea too of the you're my human shield thing.
Just like you and me, bro. You'll always be my human shield, Joe.
I don't even care anymore.
That's why you're the shield.
Yeah. Also because I look like Michael Chiklis. I like, again, just the dialogue in this. I thought you were invincible. I was. I'm not anymore.
I'm not anymore. Shit happens,
just keep
bro.
it, like, sometimes, like, because sometimes they get really poetic, and then sometimes they keep it simple, stupid, you know? Like, it's just...
Sometimes the easy way is the best way.
It really is good writing. The actual writers of this thing,
he's kissing his sister.
That's fucking sexy.
That is hot.
I wouldn't kiss my sister because she's not Asian, but...
She doesn't smoke eyeballs anymore. So
the team of guys who wrote this movie, it's a 2-person writing team. They actually had people come in and redo the dialogue because when
Ernie's right. Reminds me of Batman.
Yeah,
he was right.
When Brandon Lee died, it changed a lot of what was happening because he was supposed to say things or whatever, and actually they were responsible for adding in a bunch of like the narration and stuff like that made it kind of flow better. But the guys who wrote the original screenplay were David J. Shaw and John Shirley. Now, David J. Shaw, he did a lot of horror writing. He wrote Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Critters 3, Critters 4.
Oh my God, best of the series.
He did an uncredited pass for the script for Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Ooh.
He did.
Is that the Dream Child?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
it is.
He did, they had that show Freddy's Nightmares, which is like the anthology show
Yeah.
and he did an episode of that.
Look at the crows getting its piece of the
I love
action
that.
here.
They got a that was like
You know what's true?
a mechanical
Sweet.
bird doing that.
Is that like serendipity because they're cutting people's eyes out and now she just got her eyes ripped out?
Actually, another thing from the Wraith, that's how he killed several people by removing
ripping their eyes out.
I'm starting to think if he just wonder if he just made the comic based on the movie The Wraith.
Right.
I'll have to ask
the original source material is The Wraith.
But the other writer though, John Shirley, he only wrote one other movie, which was The Specialist.
Oh my God, we already talked about The Specialist too.
I know.
What the frig?
I know, but here's the other thing. I don't even know if you'd remember this. I'm hoping you'll freak out the way I freaked out when I read it. He wrote the cartoon Brave Star.
Oh my God.
Eyes
Brave
of the
Star.
hawk, ears of the wolf.
Brave Star. Yeah, Brave Star.
Yeah.
Speed of the puma. Strength of the bear.
Speed of a puma.
Eyes
A
of the
puma
hawk.
of that I've never heard of since then.
Eyes of the hawk. Speed
Ears of the wolf. No,
Ears of the wolf.
Strength of a bear. Speed of a puma.
Only 4?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He also he had some other ones that didn't matter. Oh, I love that too. The Struck by Lightning. This is another one of those bad guys I really like because he's not a cowardly bad guy. He's
Right.
like, I'm going to take this to him. Now, obviously, he's trying. He's the smart. I've got a plan, guy. He's like, I'm going to attack him while he's invincible.
Right.
So, and I
Gotta
do
have a
understand.
plan.
And I understand the need to make him uninvincible. I hate invincible superheroes to
Right.
begin with. So you do need a weakness that's not like a friggin'
Well, because it makes the ending more like, oh shit, like he might,
He needs to be
you
in
know,
danger.
he might lose.
Yeah. And it's
That's
silly.
not that he might die because we know he's going to die again. He's a dead.
I like the silliness that we do require that, despite the fact that we know the bad guy's gonna lose. It's
Oh, come on, yeah.
I mean, how
Sometimes
often,
they don't, and you're like,
sometimes they don't, but it's
whoa.
very rare. And it's but I don't know. It's just you need that, and it's the ride you're taking on in a movie. And I think people maybe take it for granted more often than not now, which is why I like watching movies when people give applause and stuff. Like when you
Right.
go see the Star Wars movies for the first time, people a moment will happen and everybody's like, boom, like in Force Awakens when Han Solo gets killed.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, people who didn't watch that movie 3 years ago.
Some people get pissed. Some people get pissed
I
off at
know.
me for. It's
Well-
like if you haven't seen it a year ago, like come the fuck on.
It's
You're
your
not
point.
going to see it either. You're just being like, I was going to see that 1 year. You ruined it. Like, no, I didn't.
No, I know.
I lost.
But to be there for that moment, people were like it was so good, right? It's just cool.
I liked the Last Jedi was the same. People were getting right into it. I liked it. They weren't talking through the movie. They were just reacting.
That's
which
what
I
like.
liked.
And you just don't get that. You get that from a play, but you don't get that from anything else. This is actually
He does have something to give him.
Herpes.
Yep. And a little bit of diabetes.
In the comic, Shelley wasn't the one who went through the intensive care and stuff. It was actually Eric. And that was the implication of the actual comic was that he never becomes the Crow. He dies. And that was his final fantasy. He gave himself a revenge fantasy which is why the only people you actually interact with are the people that did the dirty.
Right.
So, which is also which is also a Jacob's Ladder thing. And
Yes.
it's, a lot of other movies, but
They say there was only like 8 movie plots or something.
technically Roseanne. What?
You
Yeah.
did it, Eric.
Well, this is the hard thing too. When I'm trying to write something and I'm thinking of something, I'm like, oh, this is derivative of this. And I'm like, but there's
It's all.
everything is something, as long as you're not trying to go, I'm going to just take these jokes or do whatever, it's all good.
It's all good, Ernie Hudson.
So they all just start smoking together.
Oh, yeah, they're all
She's not
all
nearly
hurting.
traumatized enough. They should have shot this scene after Brandon Lee died.
Oh, they are all going for a smoke, too.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, what the hell, right? You're about to spend the eternity in a graveyard. You might as well have a butt, brah. I like that Ernie Hudson. What's he been in lately? Anything?
Why we just talked about this.
Where's Ernie been at?
You make me so sad. Grace and Frankie.
That's right. He plays her dildo. Yes,
Yes.
we did talk about this. Oh, he's off the butts now.
Yeah, might as well.
He's off the butts.
He should have used it to cauterize the wound.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? You could have given Eric Draven one.
Or he puts it on
Give
his
one
tongue
to the kid.
and then,
What a
drinks
waste.
a bullet. He's like that. You find out that's just a Detroit game. That's not just something the gang does. Okay.
Man, she reminds me of someone so bad. I just
That's what I'm
can't.
saying.
It's killing me.
That's what I'm saying. And then her name is Rochelle, and then it just reminded me I was going through and I'm like, I kissed a girl named Rochelle once for a play. Remember Rochelle in high school?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I got to kiss her too in a play.
And then my good friend...
That's why we wrote plays with kissing in it, so we could kiss Rochelle.
Our good friend Dave Malik wrote a play where we both... Actually, it was the same play. We both kissed her.
It was fucking awesome. We fucking ass-to-assed in that one.
Felt really bad for her.
I didn't. Screw it.
Yeah, we did do ass-to-ass.
We're the nicest guys she ever kissed. Fuck that.
We were nice, but... It's all good. Shelley Webster.
Does that really count? Any girl listening to this be like, who gives a fuck, right? Like,
I know. It's all good. I feel like going back to the grave, like I feel like now should be him trying to escape death.
Yeah, that should be the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does he have to cover himself over? Like, when does he just lie down and then he's dead again and it goes back to the way it was? Or that should have been the previews.
Yeah.
I am immortal. And he's just...
See, I would have pictured him just going into it, and then I would have pictured something with the crows, like a bunch of crows coming and just like sweeping over it, and then the dirt just kind of like blowing into it. So, and then I was kind of like,
when she hits the light, she should be disgusting.
You can see through her.
Yeah, like you could see like she's all half like skeleton and like
her face is all like melted. Worms are coming out.
Love you, Eric.
That would have been amazing.
He's like,
no, this is when she's like, I totally survived.
Yeah,
and then
where have you been?
And then Ernie Hudson comes up. He's like, yeah, actually, I married her. And like, it's just
we didn't know how to tell you.
Thing. He's like, what was I doing here? He's like, I have no idea. He's like, thanks for the solos on the rooftop, though. We fucked to them.
Thanks for the solos.
He's getting cuckolded by a BBC.
That's the only way to do it. If I'm getting cuckolded, it better be the fucking BBC.
Yeah. And we don't mean Big Black Cock. We mean the British Broadcasting Corporation. Tonight on BBC One, your wife getting buggered by us.
All of us.
All of us. Keep a stiff upper lip while we go anal.
Stiff upper lip.
I'm really good at my accents.
Yes.
I'm really good. See, it's so funny because I really like that girl in this movie, but she's really not good in it.
No.
Like, let's be very clear.
Yeah,
she's not a good actress. But like, it was just like,
where's he going now, the old crow?
But she's a kid. Like,
is he gonna find somebody else, or does another crow have to bring?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I assume
like the next guy up, or does he get a job? He's like, oh no, I gotta go bring some other guy back from the dead.
Well, yeah, that's the legend. So that's
the legend.
Well, that's kind of why I like, and that's kind of why I was kind of hoping they weren't doing another Eric Draven crow.
Oh, that's is he Eric Draven?
To my knowledge, yes. But I would rather.
Could be a new guy.
Yeah, that's
what they totally should have done.
Yeah, and maybe they may still be. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's a way better idea.
In the thing, he's listed as Eric and all this stuff. So I mean, I could be wrong though, and they could be doing something different. I hope they do.
I think it should be a different animal too, like the aardvark, or like the dung beetle.
The three-toed sloth.
Yeah, only the three-toed sloth can bring you back. Yeah.
Takes
forever. It just takes way too long, right?
Oh, there's nothing that makes me happier than we're just super in sync.
Stereo.
So yeah, it was weird because, like I said, a whole company was founded to make this movie. Like, to finish making this movie.
Like, it was, they made a whole company up just to...
and I've got the name of it somewhere.
It's called Lucasfilm?
Yeah, no, it was called the Entertainment Media Investment Corporation, and the movie was founded specifically to put the money together to do the digital stuff to finish this movie, and then it got distributed by Dimension, and then they never made another movie because I was like, oh, I wonder what else they made.
And I wonder who was in that company. This font and the color is like ripping my eyeballs apart.
Yeah, again,
jeez, it's like staring at like somebody's like fucking fog lights.
It's my TV. It's the copy we're watching.
Yeah, I don't know why that's like holy Jesus.
I need to buy a Blu-ray of this, but like it's just.
Man, does that do it to yours too? Like holy, it's because looking at the darkness the whole time. And now I'm like, oh my god, it's like staring at a welding flash.
This is like an SD DVD, so it's kind of a problem.
It's like an STD on a DVD,
right? Ew.
I like to use them to scrape.
Oh,
scrape them off.
Oh, I'm so upset.
Jagged little pill.
I really don't like. This is not a good song.
I know. I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, the whole soundtrack's been kicking ass.
Yeah.
And now.
Do you know what? See, the union production manager there, his name was Grant Hill, and I was going through the credits today, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I need to click on this because I need to know for sure that it's not Grant Hill, the basketball player. And like, I knew
sure as shit it was.
Like, yeah, it was. So screw me. No, but I was like, it's obviously not Grant Hill.
That would have bothered you forever.
Yeah, and it was
like one of those OCD things where you're like years later, like, fuck, I gotta see if it was him.
I scrolled past, and then I was like, oh, no, I gotta go back. Well, it's like Kobe Bryant is nominated for an Oscar this year.
That's right, yeah, for that short, right?
Yeah. And by the way, I was wrong because I did mention in a previous episode about James Franco being nominated still, and it was, but he didn't get nominated.
No,
it was just
shit.
It was just the
Crow Wrangler.
I know, which there wasn't. He was a raven, so like that.
Yeah,
were they that?
No, he was really bad. He didn't even show up to set. They needed to give him something though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you wrangled the crows.
So you die. You need to be brought back by a crow for some form of
craven.
Revenge. A craven, yeah. You need to be brought back for some sort of revenge. What are you avenging?
The guy that delivered my Chinese food.
Yeah.
Fucking totally ripped me off.
Oh, what happened?
He ripped me off. He said I'm not good with money. He knew that. He could see in my eyes. I was like, oh, Jesus. And he lied to me about how much money. Like, I tipped him way too much because he lied.
Oh, my God.
I want fucking revenge.
Oh, shit. See, I got scammed by one of those, and I feel bad that this is also Chinese, but I've been inspired. But no, I got scammed by one of those, like, online shopping places that you find on, like, Facebook when you're scrolling down, and they never shipped me my items.
Oh, my God.
And so now I'm going to go to China and kill all of them because their customer service was bad, and they wouldn't answer my questions. And actually, my mom
like a lot of people.
My mom dealt with that. She's like, I just ordered these shoes from this place, and she's like, and it's free shipping and all this, and they say it's from Canada. I'm like, the first thing I read said it's from China.
Yeah.
And then she's like, please don't tell me if I'm like, well, you're gonna want to know if you just got screwed. I'm like, you ask me about these things before you do them.
You know what mine's gonna be about? I called Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I said, is
like recently,
the movie of The Crow there?
Yeah.
They said yes. When I got there, someone had fucking rented it.
Yeah. You are
I want
supposed to
revenge
hold
on
it for
Blockbuster in my tail. And then I come back from the grave and they're gone.
Yeah.
And it's just me hanging around in a parking lot.
Yeah. You're just waiting and waiting. Actually, up until like there's still a couple Blockbusters out there, and one of them just closed. It was like in Austin, Texas or something.
Man.
I can't remember exactly where it was. It was down
They held
south.
on for a long ass time.
See, so here's the actual names of the people. So Michael Wincott was top dollar. Barry Lang was Micah.
T-Bird, Skank,
Tony Todd was
Tintin,
Grange.
Funboy, Grangy, Gideon, Mickey, Torres, lead cop.
Spieg.
Ooh. Hey, lead cop, get over here.
That was his actual name.
Yeah.
It was Jugger. I wish I...
Badass criminal.
Yeah, the last guy in the thing is Badass Criminal. Oh, there's a Finley. Spelled his name wrong.
What do you really... What is he? Is he going to be murdered in the new one? Is the same? It's going to probably be the same kind of deal.
The Crow is like that's the whole story of the Crow.
Here you go.
This is an all-time favorite. Stone Temple Pilots. I love.
Yep.
And this is such a great song.
They're coming back with a new singer now.
After
they killed their last two.
I know, I can't.
I dig STP. I've always liked them a lot. So I'm going to give them a shot.
I have a thing now too against like the bands that keep coming back like this. Like we've had ones that do reunions and stuff like that, and that's all well and good, but they keep coming back like we're gonna do this. I don't want to go and see them in concert with some different singer singing these songs. If I can't hear him sing it, I don't want to bother.
Alice in Chains is coming with the new guy. He's good.
Yeah, everybody from Alice in Chains is dead.
Yeah,
right. So
except for the new guy.
All of them. So yeah,
the whole band is there. It's just fucking what's his name that died.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel like the drummer also died, and I know it's not the case, but it's just like...
You wanted them to.
Yeah, everybody's dead.
Oh, that was good, too. Milk Toast. Yeah, I'm totally cranking. Oh, Ghost Rider by Rollins Band. Ghost Rider, motorcycle hero.
Nice. I don't know. Liar's the only song for me.
Oh, there is The Badge.
Oh, so Pantera was for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it has... The song has "You fucking son of a bitch," from where Travis and the prostitute. There's a quote from Taxi Driver in that tune. It's just killer.
I liked just there. They had somebody else sang obviously the song that was supposed to be Brandon Lee,
right?
And we talked about that for Back to the Future, where we said they couldn't have like found somebody who sounded like Michael J. Fox sounds when he talks, like a little bit, but he's a good singer. They picked a good person to sing,
to go over it,
right?
Like
because that was somebody who was like, that sounds like it could be him. I don't think it is him, but it sounds like it could be him. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what more to say. Like, it's no, not like that. I just mean, like, I keep wanting to bring up Brandon Lee and like, the tragedy of his loss in the thing, but then the tragedy of the fact that we lost out on him.
Yeah, being in other stuff.
His mom apparently sued a whole group of people. This made me feel bad, actually, because not only she's a very wealthy woman, and I know she's suing on principle,
right?
But like when she sued them, she sued including the guy who pulled the trigger, like Michael.
Oh, that's not cool.
And I'm like, he's already fucked up. He was 100% determined to be nothing.
Yeah, like how the hell did he deserve that kind of thing?
He was handed a gun and said, "Fire this gun at him." Like, so there was a lot of negligence and stuff that warranted a lawsuit. But I mean, he got put into it.
It shouldn't be him, right?
Fuck, what did he have to do with that? It was hard enough for him, you know. But she ended up getting like a $3 million settlement out of it, and also all that. I get the suing on principle,
right?
And it got things, like I said, it probably enacted.
What happens when you do fucking cocaine all day on set? People fucking die.
Yeah. Maybe sometimes maybe not enough people died, but yeah, no, it's just like, it's such a sad thing, and I just. Like, looking back on it, and it was a very important movie to both of us.
Yeah, it was.
This time. It was like, it's your teenage years, your formative years, and those movies come in, and sometimes the movies are stupid. It's like, and sometimes the music is stupid, and it's like, well,
especially when you're revisiting, you're like, oh Jesus, right?
And some of those are true. Some of the movies we watched, and it's like, oh God, really? We were into this back then, or whatever. But that's one where it's just like, I don't know, everything about it holds up, yo. It holds up emotionally for me, but it's.
I'm gonna rock out on the roof tonight with my ukulele. You should get your old squeeze box, and we'll have a fucking Eric Draven.
I don't have I don't have an accordion. I do have a concertina though.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just an accordion that can't play notes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
yeah. It's basically like,
it makes that sound over and over.
Yeah. It's listening to a whale with bronchitis.
Yes,
but
whale.
But yeah, so we put a cap on this one as the credits
are over. On it, girl. Put a cap on it.
The usual things. We'll try to make it quick. Come visit us.
Press the button. Press the button.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Play the pre-recorded thing. Hello and welcome to Miscast Commentary's pre-recorded message. Visit us at miscastcommentary.com. Find us on Twitter at MiscastPodcast, and Joe at JK Findlay, and Todd at MiscastTodd.
Turn to side B.
Beep. There's always a little bit before you actually get to
there's like that weird...
Yeah.
There's that...
Welcome back to the pre-recorded message of Miscast Commentary. Find us on Instagram at Miscast Commentary. Like us, subscribe, and rate us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, and anywhere else where you listen to things. You know what's really funny about this? I legitimately have have an outro that we play that basically covers most of this thing. But I'm afraid that once that thing starts playing, people are like, oh, it's done, and then they stop it. And then I want to say it loud.
Turn to side C.
Welcome to Miscast Commentary. It's just side A again because
there's not two tapes.
Yeah, it's just somebody who's dumb and doesn't realize it's a double album. So there's so you go to the album. So it's just like side A, side B, side C. Say what?
That's it right there. That's just to rock your world. That's to make you think, people.
That's like a David Copperfield trick.
Fucking right, it is.
I didn't know I was. I took
a trick. It's reality.
I took that moment to decide which magician I was gonna say, because I was like, the first person who came in was Carbonaro from the Carbonaro Effect on True TV. It's a prank show where he's a magician, and I was like, that was just the first one that came to mind, and then Chris Angel came to mind. I'm like,
that's who I was thinking. It was Chris Angel.
I'm not fucking saying Chris Angel. You can't make
and all his TV gimmickry.
Ugh. And then David, that's above David Blaine's pace.
What did anybody ever say anything? And it was like, I remember the one where he's like on the top of a building.
Yeah.
And he's like, by the time this ball hits the ground, I will be on the ground, but I'm letting go of it up here.
Yeah.
And it's like, people are there going just like, wow. And I'm like, So you're not saying anything afterwards, but you literally watched him disappear and then reappear down there, and nobody is talking about this.
Yes.
Nobody is talking about what they're just like, wow, what a good trick. And, then it cuts and the clock in the background's freaking out. And, like the fuck. That guy, I hated that guy. Chris Angel. Mind freak.
Although I wouldn't mind. I'm kind of curious now, just because I know Cirque du Soleil produces his show in Vegas. I'm kind of curious.
Probably good. Guarantee his show is probably good. He's a good magician. He won a bunch of years in a row, like Magician of the Year. Yeah. But I just felt like his show was just too much like tomfoolery with the cameras.
His gimmick overtook the magic, and that was the thing, because that was starting to happen. Like even your David Copperfield, it's really weird that we got into this subject coming out of the Crow, but fuck it. And like David
magic in
Copperfield,
movies, magic. Come on.
Yeah, no, I get it, but all these. But all these people, they started getting overproduced, and then somebody like David Blaine came and he's like, I'm just gonna stand in front of you and just do this.
And sometimes he fucks up too.
And stare at you.
I've seen him do tricks where like they didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like they just legitimately didn't work out.
But you know what happens though? When you're a member of the Pussy Posse at a young age, there's no turning back.
There's no failing.
It's weird. The people that Leonardo DiCaprio surrounded himself with at a young age is the weirdest group.
Yeah, what's his name? David Blaine's one of them?
David Blaine was one of them.
Tobey Maguire.
And
the dude from Entourage.
And then that guy who was also in Inception with him, the rat face guy. I can't remember his name.
I can't think of it either. Ratface.
Yeah, but anyways,
his lovers know him as Ratface.
Yeah.
It's an endearing name.
Yeah, they only do a doggy style with him.
He's fine with it.
But anyways, we're gonna go try and form a new Pussy Posse right now.
Hell
so,
yeah.
Tune in next week.
We're the Pussy and the Posse.
We're gonna announce the next week. We didn't ruin it this time. Todd did mention a movie, but we haven't agreed on anything yet.
That's
at this point.
Right. We haven't agreed on nothing.
So we will figure that
usual.
out. Yeah. MAGA! Oh. All right, so tune in next week, guys. We will see you then.
Here comes the Pussy Posse. Don't laugh at us. We're not pussies.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.
That was the best.